Hello guys, good morning everyone. Good morning everybody. If you can hear my voice, could you please give a quick thumbs up if the voice is audible? Good morning everyone. Chalo, let's get started with week number 2. Good morning. Okay. Chalo, thanks for confirming everybody. Let me share my complete screen first of all, and then we will get started with today's topic. Okay, good morning all the members in the house. Welcome to the week number 2. Okay, welcome to the week number 2. Some very important discussions right from today we will be getting started. Please put your entire attention. Okay, let me just one more reminder. We are live and let's go. Okay, chalo, let's go. Okay, I'm sharing my entire screen. Good morning all the members in the house. Okay team, let's get started. We are going to discuss multiple things today. Okay, first of all, few key basics which are required for everybody to be aware. On a daily basis, yes, the session is going to be recorded. So I have turned on the recording mode already. Plus at the same time, we are streaming it on YouTube as a private video. Okay, so it is in a private mode, so not like others can check it out on YouTube. So it's happening as a private stream. But important thing is, as soon as this session gets over, this private stream, we will make it as unlisted and share the link with you guys within our WhatsApp group. So you don't then have to wait for actual generation of this meeting recording. Okay, so that immediately after session you will have access to the link. So that's why it's available, and we can check it. Whatever we are discussing right now, the audio, video, everything is being streamed and captured on YouTube as well. Okay, so yeah, so that set apart, I will close this tab, so YouTube will keep going on. That's fine. It somehow says public, but yes, it is private. So that is one thing. Daily recording is captured and shared. Now, what is expected from you guys on a daily basis is, okay, so either you can join live, or later during the day, watch recording. Both options work depending upon if you are at work or somewhere. So yes, on the same day, try to watch the recording. So this recording should be on the same day. Okay, and guys, on that day itself, you should mark attendance. Okay, so please be aware, these are important things. So we are discussing it on day 1 itself. Let's say today is 14th of April. So please make sure that today you mark 1 attendance. In the WhatsApp group also, we will be sharing the attendance code, link and everything. In the live meeting also, we will be sharing it. So whether you join it live or watching the recording, daily mark 1 attendance. If you miss to mark it today, okay, and then on 15th of April, you try to submit 2 attendance. Okay guys, in that case, it is considered as only 1. So even though you mark 10 attendance on the day number 2, that will be considered as only 1. This is simply implemented so that consistency develops. Every single day you need to watch and mark attendance. So because they go every day, 2.5 hours to 3 hours of session will happen. If you are not completing every topic on that day itself, lot of work and topics will be piled up, and then it will become hard for you to follow up. For that reason, right from the beginning, please make sure daily you are watching, daily marking attendance. Okay, this is important thing. Okay, second important update. For week 2, we will be sharing you a separate link of session material. So this is going to be the link. In the WhatsApp group, we will share all these details, but a new link is going to be there. So whatever link was there for week 1, it will not be updated going further. And after some time, we will remove all the information from this link also. The only link which will be there is this V2 version, which will be available. Okay, all the session notes, everything you can find here. So this will become your new link. Week 1 content plus week 2, everything will be available in this new link. We will be sharing this in our WhatsApp group. Plus right now I'm just copying this link here. Okay, all material, week 1, week 2, everything will be here. Okay, is updated to below new location. I will share it all by the end of today's session. Okay, and even in this session notes, it's there, it will be provided. Okay, fine. That's the second important update. Okay, next thing is, guys, with regards to this internship, few important details everybody should be aware. So we have put up a document for that. So please be aware, and some actions will also come in your way. So let's quickly walk through it. Okay, Dekho, all the guys, all members who registered, who enrolled till Friday EOD, all of you already have internship offer letter. So on Saturday itself, we have issued it from the company email and other things. However, those who enrolled on weekend, okay, for you guys, complete offer letter will be issued on Thursday. Okay, 17th April, offer letter will be issued. Start date for everybody is going to be of 7th of this month, nothing but the first day of our internship, 7th of April. Okay, so this is going to be the scenario. Now, the members who already have received offer letter, they already know the company details from where it is being issued. So we are working with Hulk Hire Tech. This is the company who is going to issue you your offer letter, your completion letter, further background support or any activity verification, background verification will be taken care by this Hulk Hire Tech company. Okay, it's a product and service company. That means they have their own product as well as they do some projects for other clients as well. This is how their model is. You can find more details about Hulk Hire Tech here. Okay, so they have put in a website where they are doing some kind of work and details. It's located in Hyderabad. So their base location is in Hyderabad. But as we know, it's a fully remote or operating organization. Okay, next, their LinkedIn profile details you can find here. So in this document, all of the information is available. So their LinkedIn profile, you can check it out. Roughly around 29K followers are available. Plus, this is their LinkedIn profile. So what you are supposed to do is, in your offer letter, your designation mentioned will be Java developer intern. So accordingly, you can update your LinkedIn profile like this, that currently you are doing a job at this company, Hulk Hire, which you can find it here. So you can just simply add it to your LinkedIn profile, and then designation is Java developer intern. Your start date of working is April 2025. So LinkedIn has month-based details. So you can update that and just say working till date. Okay, so this is what is about the company. Update your LinkedIn profile today itself with regards to these details. Next, the company website is this. It was founded in 2022, like a couple of years, 3 years ago, founded in 2022, and the CEO is Swati Jain. Okay, what is the product about this company? So this Hulk Hire Tech has developed their own product, which is hulkhire.com. Okay, so this is the product which is developed by these guys. It's some AI-based technical assessment tool. Okay, and you can find more details about it. It is still being distributed, and marketing and sales that's happening. So this is the product of a hiring platform which is developed by them. So just be aware, this general knowledge will be required maybe during some conversation during interview. Okay, so Hulk Hire Tech is the organization. They have developed a product, Hulk Hire, which is an AI based tool, and we are going to work for this Hulk Hire Tech company as part of payment team. So as part of payment team, what is going to be our work, everything we will be discussing that as part of this today's topic. So please find the rest of the details. Okay, so these are the things. I can even put this link of hulkhire.com as a kind of reference here, product, okay, link, okay, fine. Next, these are the details already discussed, this, fine. Next, during interview time, so they might ask you about your details, who was your reporting lead and other things. So I will be your reporting lead. So they will be asking any communication details. So please provide this email ID if they ask for any reporting manager details. When you apply for the next job, so they might ask you details about the current internship. So just share my details. So I'm going to be your lead, share my details. They will ask HR contact details. So it is going to be this email. And whoever we will be taking care of confirming your internship and providing feedbacks about you during the call discussions. Okay, so please find these other important things for communication. Next thing, okay, we already know these things, few of them. Let's quickly walk through it as a checklist quickly. So during when you apply for other jobs, maybe while this internship is going on, you might be doing parallelly job hunting, some of you people, to get your next proper paid job, not an internship. So some of these information will be really applicable for you. So please put your attention and listen this part carefully. So our current internship is of 2 months, which is 8 weeks. Start date is 7th of April and end date is going to be 2 months from that, which is 30th of May. So we start with April and we run it till the end of the May. 30th of May, last working Friday is going to be the last day. Okay, fine. Next, if they ask during interviews, okay, what was this 2 months like? What was your plan? What you guys were doing? So your basic high level plan is these two things. Initial, okay, 2 weeks, nothing but, yes, Monday to Friday we work, so Saturday, Sundays are off. That's how the IT working model is. So Monday to Friday we operate. Initial 2 weeks, whatever KT means knowledge transfer, means transferring my knowledge to you so that whatever information is important for you to work on the project, we will be sharing that. So that terminology technically is called as knowledge transfer. KT is in company where people transfer knowledge. So people might just say KT happened. Okay. So initial 2 weeks, we will share you whatever information is needed for starting to work on the project. So everything as part of this: tools, process, project overview, domain, architecture, whatever we did in the week number 1, it was the core information about Spring, how to code, and those things are also required so that we can do working and coding on the project. So same thing you can communicate during your discussions. Initial 2 weeks, nothing but 10 days, you were being prepared, trained so that you can work on the project. The basic information about project and all things were applied. After that, okay, after completion of 2 weeks, nothing but from 3 weeks onwards, we started working as per agile model. On Friday session, guys, again, another tip: if anybody of you has not completed any session of week 1, please complete it. Okay, please finish all week 1 topics, because we are not going to repeat all of them again, because every topic was a 2.5 to 3 hours topic and it's all important. Nothing was optional in that. So please make sure you cover it up. As part of this material, you will find the session recordings of week 1 also. So all session recordings, you will find all the week 1 details here. I will be sharing with you all of this information, right? So please make sure you complete all the week 1 information. So, but again, getting to the point, once you finish all that, okay, so then these all things, in day number 5, we discussed working with Agile. So Agile model says work in sprints. Sprint means a short time frame of working. So we are going to have 2 weeks of sprint. Nothing but for 2 weeks, we will finalize how many features we need to build. Then we will build it for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, again, same cycle will happen. So if the internship is of 8 weeks, so the breakup is like this. Initial 2 weeks is the common knowledge required for actually working on the project. After that, 3 sprints will be done. 6 weeks will be pending. 3 sprints will be done. 2 weeks of each. And this is how your sprint duration is. Okay? Sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, Monday to next week of Friday. The dates are properly aligned later on. Like, yeah. So we start with what? sprint number 1 is 21st April, say 2nd of May, 21st April to 2nd May. And then we start with the second sprint once it is done. So it starts with 5th to 16th, and after that 19th to 30th. That's what it is. Okay, next thing. When you are applying for another job, HR and all, they will definitely ask you how much salary you were getting paid. So you should say it was like no stipend offered during internship. So that kind of model. So accordingly, you don't have to really showcase any pay slips or any details. So it's a no stipend. We were just working there for the knowledge part, and we worked on a very interesting project, and then you can have discussions. Okay, next. When you are doing parallel job hunting, let's say while the internship is going on, you're doing parallel job hunting. So other companies might ask you, okay, when your project is so good, why are you parallelly looking for other job? Yeah, basic questions. Every time HR will be curious to know why you are trying to switch the job. Your simple answer is this only: as there is no stipend, and after 2 months, there is no commitment of a full-time role. So parallelly, I am exploring for other opportunities. Okay, this simple answer suffices. Another important thing, they might say, okay, if you are going for again another no stipend internship and this kind of same model, other companies say, but we also have the same, then why are you really trying to come to us? Same thing again. You should say ki, okay, even though if it is same, but the more projects I work upon, it will give you more exposure. So nothing but I would encourage, once you get some decent knowledge from this internship, then start aggressively doing job hunting outside parallelly. Don't wait for entire 2 months to end. Okay, there will be a day, for example, week 4, day 1, day 5, sorry, week 4, day 5. Here we will be discussing how to add project in resume and explain during interview. So after 4 weeks done, last date, you will have enough knowledge to start appearing for interviews as well. Okay. So after this point, for whatever remaining 1 month, you should parallelly do this internship plus do the job hunting in parallel aggressively. Okay. We will give you some tips and techniques for getting more interview calls and cracking the interview as well. But it needs a lot of efforts. But yes, we will be doing that discussion as well. Okay. Getting more calls and cracking interview. So that discussion will happen on this date, week number 4, day number 5. But anyways, after that 1 month, you do both parallel internship, nothing but working on this project, plus do job hunting aggressively. Okay, so you can get more opportunities. So this is going to be the thing for that. One related thing with regards to this, when you're doing the job hunting, I'll just move this so that it gets more organized. Cut and paste it here. Okay. Okay. So when you're doing job hunting, let's say if you get parallelly another job, please know that when you're going to another job, they will expect a relieving letter, completion letter from the company, wherever you're doing internship. Please understand, in the IT industry, it doesn't work like this. Okay, till today you are working and immediately without notice you can switch tomorrow. IT has a criteria called as notice period. What does this mean? If you want to change your job, since majority of you are beginners, so I'm just explaining it for some of you guys. When you want to switch job and go to different company, first you need to inform your current organization that I want to leave. That process is resignation. Once you resign, then some notice period will be there. Okay, what is the minimum duration you should still continue with the current company? If you serve that notice period, then only internship completion letter will be given or relieving letter will be provided. So basic information is like this. If you want to move out of any work, you have to first resign, then serve the notice period, then you get the completion letters, and using that itself, next company will hire you. If you don't have completion letters, next company simply assumes you might have absconded. Absconded means just without notice, you moved out of the company. And sometimes next company will not hire you if you have absconded. So for that reason, IT has a process. So we also, for this internship, will be having a process. So please be aware of this. Okay, what is that process? Dekho, officially 15 days of notice period applies. So that's the official 15 days notice period. But we don't want to hold you back for 15 days. If you are getting another opportunity anywhere, your process should be something like this. You immediately drop a resignation email to this email ID and specify what last working day you are looking for. So let's say whenever you have a discussion with the HR for your next hiring, so some date will be finalized, let's say 16th of April. So then your last working day can be 15th of April, or they are giving you a joining letter of saying 21st. So your last working day could be 18th of April, like Friday before that. So please be aware, you have to coordinate for your last working day. So for that, you have to check what is the joining date that next company is giving. Accordingly, you have to decide what should be your last working day. And in the email to hr@hulkhiretech.com, specify that you're resigning and you're expecting this last working day. And also do me a reminder as well, so that I will follow up with them if in case they have not provided or whatever. So send me a WhatsApp message. We will be daily in touch on WhatsApp group. So it's same number. So you just drop me a message that you have resigned and this is your detail. I will accordingly follow up and make sure you get the completion letter on time. Okay. So yeah, this is what is going to be the regular process. You apply for resignation, and guys, to the other company, you should say, my notice period is 15 days, but I will discuss with my lead and try to get early release. So always have this. If they will say, okay, can you join us tomorrow itself? So you should say, I cannot give a confirmation like this. First, I need to talk to my lead. Official notice period is 15 days, but I think I can discuss with my lead and get an early release as well. So these should be your statements. Then you reach out. Once I or this HR email confirms you about your last working day, then you can confidently tell it to the other people, okay, yes, this is going to be my last working day, and accordingly your completion letter will be issued. Okay, guys, are we clear with this? Give a quick thumbs up. Are we clear with this, guys? So process of exit, just follow it properly. Once you get the letter, next company will ask all those letters. Okay, okay, nice, thanks for confirming. Another thing, okay, even though you have, let's say, joined other place, I am telling you, all 2 months are very valuable. Every session, I am actually promising you, don't miss any session. 7-week, Monday to Friday, every session is going to be very valuable. It will give you new information which you can add to the resume and explain during interview. Nothing is going to be like repeat wala topic. Every day you will find very valuable information. So what does that mean? Even though you get next job, still you will continue to be part of this 2 months of entire program. The recording access will be shared with you. You will be there in the WhatsApp group as well. And till the end of the internship, yes, you can watch the recordings and all in your convenient time. But all 2 months are very important. Please know that. Okay? So even if you get another job during the internship, you would still, okay, completion letter will be issued. So you can take the joining at that other company, plus you would have access to entire 2 months of recordings, plus WhatsApp group. So you will be there all throughout end to end. Okay. So, and every day is going to be valuable. Starting today, we are going to get into it. Very important technical topic about PayPal integration analysis. Today we are going to do this PayPal integration analysis. The core discussion about projects and setup will happen right from today onwards. But before that, this information is important. So we are just walking through that as well. So 15 days is the official notice period, but I will talk to my lead and try to get an early date. Then drop us an email, telling what last working day you want, even communicate to me. We will somehow ensure that completion letter is issued to you on the right time, so that you can have a smooth joining in the next company as well. Okay? And that's what internship completion letter, and same letter will have some clause about relieving also. Relieving means, okay, yes, this guy is all clear to move out from my company and join the next company. That is relieving process. Okay, fine. You will still continue to be here. Okay, guys, now another important thing. Please put attention. Some of the members of previous internship batch went wrong here. That's where I'm putting this as a separate sections so that you can get clarity. देखो, when these other companies, background verification happens, guys, okay, many times lot of other companies drop email to us to verify about your internship. So yes, we will be providing them the details. Yes, this guy joined us. This was the employee ID. In your offer letter, your employee ID will be there. We will discuss more about that here. Employee ID will be there. But they will ask for your verification details. Please note that some of the companies, not everyone, but some of the companies, when they are asking for verification, they want strong feedback about your performance as well. देखो, honestly speaking, on a general terms, we try to give good to everyone. We unnecessarily don't pull back, this is not good, this is not bad, okay? So we try that on an average, yes, everybody should get a good feedback so that hiring can happen in the next organization without any problems. So, but sometimes they would like very precise feedback. They explain to us in detail about this point, this point, this point. So in such case, we need to be fair to the next company. So for giving very detailed performance feedback, we rely on this information which you will be doing for the 2 months of time. Everything is tracked as activities. How many tasks you have completed. We have Excel sheets where your task submissions will happen all throughout the 2 months. It is going to be there. So the tasks that you submit. Next, every week demos will start. I will speak more about the demo on this coming Wednesday or Thursday. So then over weekend, you can plan your first demo. So for now, no need to discuss about demo. We can discuss it later during the week. But yes, daily tasks will be there. Weekly demos will be there. Daily attendance will be there. Okay, so this shows your consistency. Your demo shows your communication, explanation, and coding skills. Your task shows that how consistently you are working all throughout your internship. Plus, by the end of the internship, we will even be collecting your source code, which you have developed throughout this 2 months of time. So combining all this information, we basically give the report to these guys about performance. We try to give on a proper positive note itself. But if these numbers are really very bad, so accordingly, we would have to say kind of average person is there. We cannot give, say, good person if these numbers are really very bad. We will say average category. Okay? Maybe around 60% kind of a person. So I would highly suggest you to be good in all of these things so we can confidently tell to the next people, okay, yeah, he's a good guy. He was always consistent, dedicated, eager to learn, gave the demos nicely, hardworking, exploring, good with problem solving. Your demos will tell us all of those things. So we will watch it and from there we can draw proper meanings and inform. So please be aware, background verification time, they ask for these details. So please work on it throughout this internship. Okay, fine. Next, we discussed about Agile on week 1, day 5. Anybody who has not done it, no problem. Please watch that session. You will get it. But in Agile, we spoke some designations. So guys, product owner, the person who gives the requirement. So for our project, the product owner is Mr. Rafiq. Okay. He has around 12 plus years of working experience. I've been working with him since quite some time now. So he is going to help us finalize the requirements for this project. So I will be doing interaction with him, and then same thing you can communicate during interview time. If they ask any details, okay, how things were happening. So our product owner is Mr. Rafiq. Our tech lead, Mr. Tausif, used to interact with it and get all the requirements. And then we used to work together. Our tech lead worked with the interns in order to accomplish that particular project. Okay. So same thing you communicate during your interview time also. So yes, our product owner is Mr. Rafiq. He used to give us requirements. Mr. Tausif used to closely interact with him for finalizing requirements. And then Mr. Tausif worked with us throughout this 2 months for accomplishing the requirements. That is important thing. Please be aware of this part. Next, what is going to be the team structure? So during interview time, they might even get into this, or HR discussion time. What was your team size? So basically, it should be like this. Okay. 3 senior members plus 2 QA members. So 3 senior members plus 2 QA members, and then you should say, and I was hired as an intern. So this is how our team size is going to be. 3 senior members, 2 QA members, and you were hired as an intern to work on the project. Same thing you tell during interview also. 3, and then 2 QA members. Then I was hired as an intern. Mr. Tausif was directly working with me for intern related activity, and then rest of the guys were, so I will deal with smoothly executing the project with these other people as well. So what are these other guys? Okay, so Jayant is having around 7+ years of experience. Yashwant having around 4+ years of experience. These are the guys I'm working with since quite some time now. I think I've spent around more than 5 years with these people. So these will be the guys for whatever others execution of the project required. I will coordinate with those guys. Whatever testing required, I will coordinate with Venu and Anna. So these two guys are again my QAs. We are working since long time, 5+ years of experience. So in interview, when they ask about what's your team structure, 3 server developer, 2 QA members, and you were hired as an intern. Okay, Mr. Tausif was working closely with the intern, and these guys were working on different tasks. This is what it is. And whatever features we finish in this 2 months, all of that you should say, we and Mr. Tausif, we delivered these many number of features. So you are not responsible for what these guys are doing. You can simply say we are not aware of that, but you should say what you and me complete together in this 2 months of time. So guys, be very clear with this. Okay? 3 senior members are there, 2 testers are there, but you were as an intern, you were hired and you were working closely with me, and whatever we complete in this 2 months of time, in the resume, all those features you should put and say, Mr. Tausif and me, we guys completed this many number of features in this 2 months of time. Okay? So guys, be clear with this. They will definitely have some discussions during any maybe casual HR talk itself. Fine. Other information. Your employee ID is going to be mentioned in your offer letter. All the guys who joined over weekend, on this Thursday, you will be given your offer letter. It will have employee ID. Your communication emails are lead email, HR related email. And for your communication, yes, your personal email ID was utilized. Okay. Next, you worked in your personal laptop. That's what you have to specify. And next, what softwares you were using for communication and coordination. So we were working with Google Workspace, nothing but all the tools and softwares which is provided by Google itself, right? So for example, documentation is in Google Drive, events and meetings are in Google Calendar, and we are connecting for live meetings in Google Meet and Gmail based communication. So every company for tech work will need some software suite where the documents are placed, where the emails are organized, how the meeting should happen. So we are using Google Suite. You can say that during your interview time. If these are very casual discussions, it might pop up anytime. So you should have some clarity about this. Okay. And okay. Finally, this is the last segment. Fully remote internship. So you have to log in from your home itself. The work time is 10 to 7. Okay. If you have other college activities, then you can say you were doing half time and rest of the work you were completing after your office time. So you can place it. The more it gives you value to you for your hiring purpose. But official work time is 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. So show it based upon how you are engaged with other college activities. You can manage it like that during your interview time. Next, every day morning 10 a.m. daily stand-up meeting. In Agile, there is a daily stand-up meeting. Right now, we are doing that kind of an discussion. So every day morning 10 a.m. stand-up meeting used to happen, and daily project task discussion happened during the morning itself. And then throughout the day, you worked upon the project task. So that's what the model I'm going to recommend all you guys. Every day morning 10 a.m. we connect, we discuss for a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours daily, Monday to Friday. After that, throughout the day till 7 p.m., definitely sit and finish the project task, making the demo and all activity. After 7 p.m., you continue with your rest of the preparation and job hunting activity. Okay, so try to really engage your entire 24 hours effectively so that results come faster. Okay, fine. Next, we already know this. 2 weeks of sprint working cycle. 2 weeks of sprint cycle. Monday, every Monday, nothing but day 1 of the sprint, we do sprint planning meeting. We will keep doing it. So our first sprint planning meeting is going to happen on next week, Monday, 21st of April. And after that, whenever we do the next sprint, 5th of May, second sprint planning will happen. So every Monday, first day of the sprint, your sprint planning meeting is going to happen. And every week you're supposed to give the demo. So same thing, whatever we are discussing, be clear. If people are asking this, share this information. So agile model, day one sprint planning meeting used to happen. Every single day, daily stand-up used to happen. Weekly, you were submitting demos about your work and about your task. Okay, fine. The final thing to discuss, they go as we go from week 2 will be completed this entire week. Okay, after week 2, week 3 onwards, whoever are the guys who are more consistent in terms of attendance, in terms of tasks, and in terms of demo, okay, you can submit your LinkedIn profiles so that we will share with all the other members also, and you can start collaborating with other consistent members. देखो guys, there is no point in collaborating with somebody who is not taking actions. You need to collaborate with an action taker so that you get a chance to learn as well. So whoever members are regular attendance wise, demo wise, and task wise, their LinkedIn profile, if you want to share basically, right? So if you want to share, we will be opening this for all the other members also, so that on LinkedIn, you can connect with one another. That activity will happen right from week 3 onwards itself. Okay. However, after a couple of weeks, once you have made, let's say, a few demos, 3 demos or so, I will define a criteria later. Once you are progressing with this internship, we will see who are the guys who are actually regular in attendance, demos, tasks, even until the mid of the internship. And all of them will be created into smaller groups. Nothing but we will create separate WhatsApp groups where you guys will be added as small teams, maybe 10-member teams, where you can closely coordinate. And I will even discuss how to make effective use of that smaller groups and how to use it for agile related meetings. That discussion will happen later. But for that, first, you have to really prove yourself that you are an action taker and want to do things and want to grow along with the rest of the members. If you are eligible for that, then we will be grouping you. And for the rest of the internship, you can really be in touch with one another, and that will really give more insights. So yes, some collaboration is going to happen, and there is a plan of how to do it. So be patient with regards to that. Okay, one thing I will say with regards to this collaboration itself, and that is important. A few months ago, when we had our internship, we did this collaboration activity. Some group of members, they were around a team of 5 people. Guys, listen this part really carefully. It will definitely give you a job. Okay, these 5 people group. So we created this 5 people group. All throughout the internship, they were closely coordinating, giving the demos, explaining the topic to one another, brainstorming on ideas, and then collaborating all throughout the 2 months. And after completion of internship also, they were continuously in touch for the next 4 months as well. Whatever other things they are learning, they are sharing as a group, doing everything. And guys, in a duration of 4 to 6 months, all of them got packages of around 4 lakh, 5 lakh, and even more than that. So all the 5 people got the job. So please understand, the power of group and coordination will make you more dedicated, focused, learning quickly. You have an opportunity to also do the similar thing. But please know, the way it happens in the IT industry, nobody is going to come to you for things. You have to reach out to other people. When you join newly to any company, you have to mix with other people. You need to go to them. You need to discuss with them. So you have to be proactive. Don't wait that somebody should come. It doesn't happen in real world. You need to act. You need to take the first step and then put efforts in collaborating. You will find some like-minded people, the people who think like you, brainstorm with them. That's where only the guys who are consistently making demos, tasks, we will make them to collaborate more, so that you will also get a chance to grow more faster. So these kind of initiatives will help you to further grow in whatever daily topics that we are listening. Okay. Guys, are we clear with all of these things? Are we clear? Please give a quick thumbs up. एक और last topic we will discuss. After that, we will open PayPal. ठीक है? One more last topic we will discuss. It is very important topic. After that, we will switch to PayPal discussion. Okay, ठीक है. Now, important discussion here. देखो, what IT expects. We are making the model exactly the same. Okay, you're not students, and we are not going to spoon feed, because that kind of model never makes people grow. Your entire majority of the education system is failing because of that model itself. People are not self-exploring and solving their own issues, and that's where it's really struggling. People are not ready to work in the industry. IT works in a complete different manner. Okay, what is that manner? When you face issues, when you face issues, you need to learn, grow, and solve it. So it's not like somebody should come and help me. No, that model doesn't work. In companies also, it does not work. If every time somebody is coming to support you, means you are not good enough to work in projects, and there will be consequences for that. Performance feedbacks, low hikes, zero bonuses, exit from company, all these. That's natural law of how things work. So please understand, everything we will do practically, and you have to put efforts to learn that. And yes, you will be getting questions, because we will, like, it's not practical to develop a perfect 100% thing where everything in your mind is sorted. So we are not even trying to develop a perfect 100% stuff. What we are doing is we will discuss all the core things as it is what you discuss in this live discussion. You take this during interview and you will crack the project rounds. That's 100% guaranteed. But the thing is, there will be always a lot of thoughts open for imagination. Because what is IT, guys? One requirement can be implemented in 10 different ways. It's not just one way of doing things. So sometimes this is right, sometimes that is right. And we will discuss this thought process during this internship live sessions. Okay, there are multiple things. Why have we chosen this decision? Why is this right? What are the problems in this other one? Some ongoing discussions will happen. So please be aware. Some questions might come in your mind. Some thoughts might be there. But this is more nice. That is more nice. Guys, whenever those questions, those doubts, those thoughts are coming, yes, track it down and use internet to further brainstorm. That's how you will self-explore and self-learn. So whatever questions, doubts, concerns you are getting, make notes about all that. Recordings will be available, notes will be available. Further, work with AI tools, work with internet for getting all the queries answered. And in future, when we do this collaboration activity, you meet other people who are also doing tasks, completing tasks. You collaborate with them, discuss with them. Perspective will automatically come. But important thing is you need to self-explore, self-learn, and address the problems. Okay, what does this mean? While coding, exceptions will come. It is natural. Everybody gets it. Some things will not execute properly. Results will not work the way you wanted. You have to put efforts to solve it. I will be giving you guidance on how to code in a logical manner so that errors will be minimal. How to code in a smart manner so that you can find the problem easily. How to debug effectively so that you can solve your problems. So we will be doing a lot of discussions for logical thinking, smart coding, and problem solving. We will do that. But the point is, you need to apply all that in order to get your work done. Okay? So guys, this is what is the last point of this today's topic. You have to put efforts. You need to solve your problems. It might take, I'm telling you, some of the guys of the previous batch, they said, other than the live session, it used to take them around 7 to 8 hours to complete task. It is natural. Don't feel if this is happening to you, then this is not expected. No, there are people who will need that much time. Sometimes small errors might take a lot of time because you need to think and solve. You have to grow in your logical thinking capability, problem solving capability. If that is happening, then only you became different. If everything before joining the internship, your thought process is the same, your problem solving capability is the same, your technical knowledge is the same, after internship also same, means nothing happened. So you will grow only when you do things. For that, efforts will be required. Your thinking has to grow. And for that, you have to solve your own problems. If somebody else does, you will not grow in that. So guys, I'm sincerely requesting you, observe this 1 week, nothing but week number 2. I know majority of you, if you put this efforts, you will be able to catch it, but it will be hard. because maybe you have not done it like this. Entire college is done. You did not think about it like this. You were memorizing coding during college time. Logical thinking needs some brush up. So guys, use this week to really understand, are you able to complete the tasks, do the problem solving, do the coding? Utilize this week 2 for this analysis. If you feel by the end of this week 2, okay, yes, you are ready and you can do the stuff and you get that confidence, then automatically continue with the further week 3 onwards. Otherwise, yes, there is a refund clause, refund by end of this week. So till 18th, right? Friday end of the day, 18th of April. Okay, till 18th April. So this refund window is going to be available, entire 100% refund. So I will share the refund form. It's already created here. So in the session material, which I will be sharing today, there is a document called as action forms and links. In this document, you can find all the links will be there, everything that we create, all the links, forms is available in the central place. So it is more accessible for all and not lost across. Project tracking, attendance tracking, session recordings, materials, you can find here. Every link will be available, whichever we refer to in the entire program. There I have even created this refund link. You can simply submit it, use the email which you use during enrollment time so that we can map it and properly. So till 18th of April, this month, end of week 2, whenever you have reached to a conclusion, okay, I need more time, I am not able to do these things, then don't hesitate, go ahead opting for a refund. All the members who refund till 18th April, okay, we will close the refund window after 18th April, and then on 19th of April, we will initiate the refund from Razorpay. So please be aware of that. 19th April, we will initiate. So we will do batch processing. So have some patience, okay? So even if, let's say by 16th, you decided, okay, no, this is getting too much for me, I'm not ready for it yet. So no problem, you submit it on 16th. On 19th, we will be initiating the refund via Razorpay. And after that, it will take some bank settlement days, whatever, maybe sometimes 7 days to 10 days it might take to be credited back to you. But your entire 100% amount will be credited back. Razorpay is going to generate some refund ID also for you. So all those things will be tracked. And yes, your money is going to be refunded back. And from week 3, you will not continue with the rest of the groups, WhatsApp and Google Meet and everything. The access will change. From week 3 onwards, we will create a new location where all the rest of the information will be available. Okay? But yes, again, speaking about the last point, please know that if you have joined this internship, you have to grow. If you're not growing, then it's not worth it. So if you're not growing, if you're still the same who you joined and after also, it's not going to make sense. And you will grow only when you do these things. If somebody else is doing it for you, it's not going to work out. So we will clarify it. I will explain during this morning 10 a.m. Connect, everything in very details. Internet and AI is there. They are your assistants. Use them and solve your problems, because industry does it like this only. Lot of new things will come. Be ready for receiving new things and explore it on internet. Okay? And fine, that's the final segment. Please be aware. So be smart and make a decision by week 2. But definitely put efforts to solve your problems, because the unfortunate thing will be, right now you want to grow and you have made a decision to join. If you are not able to do it, June batch will come after 2 months. You're delaying your 2 months of growth possibility. Think about that. Time is very important. Why to waste 2 months? So push your boundaries. Right now itself is the lifetime to grow. Don't get too much comfortable. First I will prepare long and then only I will join. Then I will become ready. No, don't think like that. Wasting time is going to have bad impact. So think about it and then make a decision by the end of this week. And then accordingly, we will continue forward. Okay? Fine, guys. Are we clear with this? Please give a quick thumbs up. Please give a quick thumbs up, team. Are we clear? Super. Furthermore, guys, whatever doubts if you get, okay, technical doubts, you solve it out. But any other concern you have, just drop me a message in WhatsApp. I will keep checking it in every 1 day, 2 days. I will definitely revert back to you. If I forgot, maybe do a follow-up every 2 days. That will also work, or every 1 day. Okay? So keep following up with me. I am there, available, and we will definitely assist you. Your knowledge has to grow. Your money is safe. You will get too much value for that. If you feel you're not getting it, opt for a refund. So basically it is created so that it grandly benefits all of you. Okay, okay, fine. Let's start with the technical topic for today. Everybody, right from today, it's going to be really interesting. Practical setup, guys, everyone. Whether you were there on last week, week number 4, week number 1, day number 4. Okay, week number 1, day number 4, we discussed about PayPal integration overview. So that is the project that we are going to do right now. I will quickly explain it at a high level, and then we will start working on this PayPal integration analysis. So that's the project. We will start right from today itself. Please put your entire attention. Okay, chalo guys, let's start. All these links and everything is fine. Let's start closing the things. All these materials, recordings, action forms, it's all going to be there. Okay, fine. Next, with regards to PayPal, we are going to do checkout process. Like we discussed earlier, let's draw a conclusion. So the basic activity, what project we are doing it? When customer wants to buy a product, okay, then use PayPal for making the payment. Use PayPal for making the payment. This is what is our project. So we are going to work as part of this payment team to do PayPal integration. So this is our project. Customer wants to make a product. Okay, what is the client app which will be integrating? That discussion we will do it in week 3. Okay, which client app is going to integrate with our payment team to make this possible? Okay, that we will be discussing in week 3. Once the refund clause is over and everything is like full on end to end, then we will discuss about our client application and that part. But anyways, so when the customer wants to buy a product, they want to make payment via PayPal. That is what we are trying to build in this 2 months of time. Next, we are part of the payment team whose responsibility is to fully understand PayPal integration and develop that PayPal integration. So that's going to be the second thing. Okay. The basic flow is how this, when you buy, what happens? If you're on Amazon website and you're buying, what happens? Money goes out from your account and actually goes to the other side. That other side could be e-commerce application and then to the seller application, but money is deducted from you and credited on the other side. So that process PayPal calls that checkout process. So PayPal terminology is checkout process, where money debits from customer and is credited to the application, whoever, now seller or the client application, whoever is having the account, but money is going to be debited from the customer and given on the other side. Okay, fine. Next, PayPal is calling that process as a checkout process. Next, we discussed PayPal is providing 4 ways to integrate checkout. Nothing but different ways and approaches are there. For us, Mr. Rafiq has finalized our way of implementing will be standard checkout, the first option which they are providing. Standard checkout, which is available here. So during the interview time also, be clear with these basics. When people say, what is your project about? You have to start with very simple basics. So then interviewer catches, and on top of that, further discussion happens. Okay, fine. So this is what is the thing here. Standard checkout integration we are going to do. So multiple types of integrations are there. Standard checkout we are doing. If they say, what about the rest? Well, no, we have not explored that, because one integration is required. We are doing standard checkout integration. Okay. Or straight away you can say, when they say about PayPal, you simply saying We are doing standard checkout integration, and this is how the flow is. That's it. We get started. Okay, fine. Now, in standard, so how exactly this happens? Any company of the real world, when they want to integrate with PayPal, so we need to understand PayPal technical system. Understand PayPal technical system. Then once we understand it, then only we can write our code to work with it. So two-step process. So first we need to understand PayPal technical system. Then we code our system to work along with PayPal integration, right? So to work as along with PayPal integration, two steps will be there always. Next, for understanding PayPal technical system, PayPal has to tell us how their system works. How they provide is with integration documents. So PayPal has to explain us in very detailed manner how their system works technically, so that the rest of the world can implement and integrate PayPal. It's very common sense. Their system, they have to tell. How do they tell? What are these integration documents? Nothing but something like this link. This is the integration document. It explains us the flow. It tells us the clarity about how to build their system. Everything is available. And that's where if you see the domain here, developer.paypal.com. So it's basically for developers. So all the developers of the rest of the world who wants to work with PayPal system, we can simply access this kind of a domain and we will be able to continue. But yes, API, so our developer work is to understand this integration document and then code on top of it. Okay, so much there. First thing, for standard checkout, they have given a sequence diagram. Let's look at it once quickly, so we are on the same terminology. We did this discussion on week number 1, day number 4, but today we have to repeat it again so that we can get on the common understanding, and even revision of this topic is important because this itself is the project. We have to code the same system. So for that, the more you repeat, the more you understand what we are doing, right? So this is key information. You have to memorize these things. So for that, please put your entire attention. Even though you were there in week 1, focus back again. It's important. Crystal clear understanding required. Okay, let me zoom this a bit. Okay, sequence diagram. Multiple pieces are there. Okay, try to see observations from this. There are two parts here. One is the PayPal system. So the 3 right-hand side boxes that you see, that represents the PayPal system. PayPal system. Next, these two terms, merchant, merchant, merchant server, merchant page. Merchant means nothing but the client application who wants to integrate with PayPal. Nothing but any business who wants to integrate with PayPal, they are calling it as merchant. So please be aware, these are domain terminologies. Tomorrow we will discuss more about the domain knowledge, but please be aware, okay, we are merchants. The system which integrates with PayPal, that system is called as a merchant system. Merchant page means front-end application. Merchant server means back-end application. Okay, so merchant page means front-end application, and merchant server means back-end application. Okay, and next, the buyer. Buyer is nothing but the end user. So whenever you go to Amazon and buy something, you are the end user of the Amazon. So that is nothing but the buyer, the person who wants to use the service. So that's the third terminology. So we have PayPal related system, we have merchant system, and then we have the buyer who buys. Okay. Now guys, our work is to focus on server development. So front-end page is not our responsibility. We are people as part of payment system doing back-end related working. So payment team, in our payment team, our focus is on backend development using Java, Spring Boot, and microservice. We will develop the system as backend developers. Okay, fine. Next, moving on. There is a flow of execution. Let's quickly look through this, what is required. If you really check this thing out, guys, what all activities are possible from merchant server? Okay. First of all, some kind of activity to the front end application. So basically, front end can do this work, first part. We will explain this later. But major activities are these two, guys. Observe. This portion here is a major activity which we have to develop. And this portion here. So focus on the bar of merchant server. The first one is a lightweight one. We don't have to do any special coding for this first box. So this we can ignore. Okay. Why we can ignore, we will discuss it. But this is not required. It's not a key thing for us. We have to do much of development for this piece and this piece. And what is this piece? Just see. Arrows are telling the story. Our application front-end page is going to call us. This is the arrow. Front-end page is going to call us saying create order. That means we need to write some coding for create order at our side. Step number 1. Okay, step number 2. We need to follow the arrow. We need to call PayPal order API. Nothing but in the week number 1, when we called an API, we always know that we call it via some path. Okay, /add we were doing last week. So this also API is addressed somehow by this URL path, and we will use this to call PayPal order API. And next, PayPal is going to give us a response. So we need to process the response. In response, PayPal will give us something called as order ID. That order ID, we need to give it back to the front-end application. So basically, you know, right, two systems are there. One system trying to call another system. It will pass some request and it will get some response. That is what this is. When front-end application makes us an API call, it might give us some request structure. We need to finalize all that request structures. What will be there? What data to need? We will build this project itself, right? So, but level 1, understand, they will pass us whatever data we want. Next, we will do certain drama, but in response to the method, we have to return back the order ID. How will we get the order ID? We need to write this code in between to actually call PayPal order API. So if you really know our steps of actions from server perspective, we need to do step number 1, expose, okay, some create order API to our front end. FE is front end application, so that they can call it. That is step number 1. Step number 2, when this API is called, we need to invoke. Invoke means again call. So guys, catch a lot of terminologies I will speak on a regular basis. I don't know how many of those terms you are aware or not aware, because these words we use on a daily basis in the company, right? So please focus on those words, even if it is a bit new. Invoke, APIs, FE, front end. Okay, so whatever words you catch, merchants and all, day to day we use these things. Integrate. Okay, so please try to catch these words and use these words when you answer during interview. Okay, so absorb. Okay, not everything is like bullet point listed, but anything you find it's new to you, absorb that. Recording is shared for that reason only. It's not just for later visit. Okay, the people who are not live, only they should watch the recording. No, that's not the idea. The recording, we are giving it to you so that all of you should again watch it 2 times, 3 times, piece by piece. That's how, the more it rotates in your mind, understanding will become strong. So even though you're watching it once, today when you start working on the task, 2 things you have to do. Play the recording on the left-hand side. Maybe double exit. double speed mein chalao. Go to the sections which is more required for you, not like entire 2 hours, 3 hours together. So navigate. One side may recording, keep it on. Another side may have these notes. Third side may do the practical. Pause, play, understand. Pause, play, understand. Make experiments. Not working. Go to AI. Do involved learning. Don't just do memorizing. It's not college. If you just memorize these things and go to interview, you are going to fail. It's all about understanding this. What is a project? You are going to work on this. Understanding needs to be developed. For developing understanding, you need to do involved learning here. Do involved learning. You will really enjoy this. Okay. Chalo, let's go back. What is our step number 1? Exposing the API. And guys, during interview time, mechanical answers are not expected. You need to explain. Theoretical definitions not expected. You need to explain. You can explain only which you understand. As simple as that. And you need to explain it in your own words, not memorize statements. We reject so many freshers because they just have memorized knowledge. If they give us a definition, we simply say, okay, give us an example and explain it. And majority are not able to do that. That simply means they don't even know what they are saying. So that college model of memorizing never works for hiring as well as at the job. Understanding and speaking is what works. Please, that's how the real world is. Please understand that. Okay, you will not be cracking interviews if you memorize. Going back to our steps, what are we supposed to do? 4 things, guys. Step number 1, we need to expose an API, create order API to our front-end application. Fine. Second, when people are calling this front-end application, we need to invoke or call PayPal order API. What is that? We will understand. Order API. Okay, fine. Third, PayPal is going to give us some response. So process response from PayPal. Step number 4, return order ID to the front end. So they called you, so you are supposed to give back the order ID. It's a method call, right? Taking parameters, giving a return type. So they will call this and then return order ID to PayPal. This is the first 4 steps for create order API. This one thing we need to do. Second, if you scroll down, there is another thing called as similar actions, but for capture order. So create order we need to work, capture order we need to work. Okay, similar 4 things. First, front-end application calls for capture order. Second, we call PayPal system, but this time for capture. Observe, first it was V2 checkouts order. Now we need to do V2 checkouts order, some order ID, and then /capture. So this is different, this is different. So that means we need to call another API. What is an API? Basics we covered in the week number 1. Okay, REST API standards, we will discuss it this week. Basics API, 2 systems trying to talk to each other. This URL is going to identify which method to call on the other side. We did all that in the week 1. Please brush up on the basics. But going back to the second point, this is a separate URL. Using this, we are calling another API of PayPal called as capture API. They give us back some response, and then we need to tell it back to the front end also. Nothing but these 4 things that we do, we need to do similar 4 things for one more API called as capture order. Expose capture order API to our front-end application. Next, when it calls, we need to call PayPal capture order API, then process the response and okay, give return order ID not to PayPal here, right? In the first one, return order ID to what? We need to return the order ID to the front-end page. So we need to return the order ID to the front-end page. Similarly, give a response to front-end page. Okay, fine. So these 2 things basically we need to do as a first level. Okay, guys, understood? Give a quick poll. Understood? Whatever we are discussing, where is the poll part? एक stick with basics. Okay, current, understanding, score. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, let's go. Please mark this understanding, guys. एक करके we will look at the same thing till the time full clarity comes out. So keep focused all throughout. Oh, launch. Okay, go guys. And guys, your target should be how you can be so focused so that you always understand things, and then work hard on that to do hands-on practice. If you're struggling to understand, means more work is required. As simple as that. I will try my best to give it as clearly as possible. The best that I can do. I will repeat it from multiple angles again and again. We will do practicals, demonstration, theory, everything. Okay? On top of that, you have to understand, right? This is far more than what I do at my day-to-day job. Okay? In day-to-day job, we speak just clearly, this is what we need. And people put more efforts to capture all the understanding. What we are doing right now is way too granular. Okay, and I've mentored a lot of interns who join my company, my team, even senior members. Okay, so I know basically what is required for people to understand. But if you're facing problem to understand these things, more effort, more focus. Because whatever we do in corporate, same thing we are doing here. So please catch, put efforts to catch. Okay, it's required. Okay, fine, chalo, let's continue further, guys. Okay, let's continue further. So first part we have discussed. These two systems we have to build. Abhi, now let's walk through end-to-end flow. Okay, an end-to-end flow is something like this. Let's observe this entire flow diagram. What PayPal team is doing is SDK, means some code which they have already written at their end. And JS SDK is JavaScript SDK. Nothing but the PayPal team has written some front-end JavaScript code like a jar file or a library. Okay, so they are saying, PayPal is saying, in order, just imagine, guys, what do you do? Let me open a paintbrush. When you are going for checkout activity, you want to buy a product online on Amazon or wherever, right? What is our basic approach? We go to the cart page. So whatever, I think here they have explained these things in detail, right? So you close this. Just see, let's say there is a product. Rather than we drawing it, PayPal has given some example itself here, right? So let's say we have some product. On the product, we have all the options, right? Net banking, phone pay, UPIs, and credit card, debit card. So in that, they are saying, showcase something like PayPal option also. So that along with all the list of options, there will be something called as PayPal button. PayPal has its own way of making payments. A setup can be done for PayPal payments. Okay, they have like wallet management. People can create accounts in PayPal. They can add their cards in PayPal. So in Europe and US, PayPal is very commonly utilized. Okay, it's a very heavy and it's a very old company, right? Fine. So now the systems like this, on the checkout page or the cart page, PayPal button needs to be displayed. Okay, how to display this button? PayPal is giving a guidance for that. That guidance is nothing but the JavaScript SDK which they have written. Okay, and you can read this description which it says, our SDK handles displaying the buttons for PayPal and whatever other methods they are supporting. Nothing but using their SDK, JavaScript SDK, we can simply display something like this buttons on our website. That's what is this JavaScript SDK, how the button should be displayed. Now I think you will understand this first flow very clearly. What the first flow is saying. Merchant page means our front-end application, where the cart page is there, checkout page is there, where the payment actually happens. So what PayPal system is saying, from your front-end application, you need to work with the JavaScript SDK, their library which they have given. and internal some activity will be there. Guys, we are not part of front-end developers, so let's not try to even understand these things. But for now, conclusion should be the front-end developer will use JavaScript SDK provided by PayPal to display PayPal button. The PayPal button is displayed by PayPal library itself. Front-end guys is supposed to use that PayPal library. That is the first conclusion out of this activity. Okay, so let's write it down. The front-end team uses PayPal JavaScript SDK to display PayPal button on the screen. Okay, fine. Somehow integration, some methods will be there. They will call something and button will be displayed. Okay, the button is developed by whom? It is developed by PayPal related SDK code only. Okay, so we are not developing it. We are using their SDK. Their SDK shows the button. They have written some code for that button display. So please be aware, additional note. Okay, the PayPal button is implemented inside whatever that PayPal SDK code. Okay, again, front end kind of application. But just observe here, when the button is visible, let's say you go to that checkout page, you see PayPal option. Now buyer wants to use PayPal, so he clicks on that button. Just see, observe this flows. This flow is important. Sequence diagram is important. It tells the flow of execution. So when the customer clicks on that PayPal button, just observe, this directly connects to PayPal SDK. That simply means we are not developing PayPal button. We are developing PayPal page. We means our front end guys. Our front end guys are developing PayPal page. In that, the button will be displayed by PayPal SDK library. When the customer clicks on that button, since it is not our code, the call directly goes to the PayPal related SDK itself, which they use for further activity. So even though we are not the front end guys, we need to have some basic understanding of how this works. Maybe this is not even required to speak during interview time. But if they get into details, but how exactly that button is displayed, this general knowledge will help you more. That's where we need to understand this flow. From interview perspective, only if you explain this to server developer, what was your work, it is enough. But having this understanding is like more additional knowledge, because that's the entire big picture, right? Again, another tip for you, always know the broader picture of your projects when you are working in any company. There are many juniors, they just do only their part of functionality. Even this happens on a day-to-day basis. When we ask them question which needs bigger knowledge, they simply say, I'm not aware of that. And that shows lack of curiosity, lack of more responsibility. We know, okay, they do just their job. So these are regular people, maybe C category, or sometimes maybe B category also. But the people who put more efforts to know bigger than your expectation, such people are always valued. So always, guys, try to have the broader picture of how the end-to-end things also work. That will make you better developers. Don't stick with, oh, this is only my work, I will know only this much. No, by that way, career growth will go very slowly. You want fast, you take bigger understanding. Okay, fine. So this is for that bigger understanding. So this makes you good for interview answering, for end-to-end understanding. Let's continue. Okay, once this first part is there, customer clicks on the PayPal button. They directly interact with the PayPal SDK, not our system at all. It's a button displayed by PayPal. They call that. They internally do some drama and just see PayPal code SDK calls front-end application. Some method call they do, create order callback. Okay, next. What they are saying is when this callback happens on the front-end page, our front-end page should call backend application, nothing but us. So that's how the trigger is going to be there. If you want to know how this is going to be called, the flow is like this. Customer clicks, PayPal library calls our front-end page internally. Next, our front-end page will make a call to our backend page, which we will be developing. And then our backend page, we will make the call to PayPal order API. Then PayPal will give us some response. Then we will return some order ID. and then this order ID goes to the front end page, which they give it to the PayPal SDK again. This flow we have already discussed earlier. Now we are just connecting the entire flow together. Okay, repeat. Customer clicks on the PayPal SDK. PayPal SDK does some logic internally, calls a callback method, nothing but a method call of front end. Next, this front end is supposed to now call us. So we will just write a method. This method will be called by external. So this front end is going to be calling us. Now we need to write code here to call PayPal order API. And then we are going to get some response from them. And then we will return that order ID back to our front end page. Further, front end team is going to write code to return it back to the JavaScript library. Since this callback was called, so in return response, they can also give the order ID back to them. Everything is happening in a sequential flow here. Please observe. They call callback. Callback calls us. We call PayPal. PayPal gives a response. We return to front end. We give it back to their library. Everything is in a sequential flow here. Observe. Now, once they have it, then PayPal is further doing some logic of doing a browser pop-up. Guys, what happens when you do net banking? Cart page mein, HDFC Bank. All of a sudden, HDFC ka pop-up comes. In the pop-up, HDFC login details are there. You do all the OTP part, payment part, and you do complete. What happens after that? Pop-up closes, and on the e-commerce Amazon site, you see a confirmation message. Okay, your order is processed, or in 15 minutes, we will give you confirmation, order successful. Some messaging happens. Same flow is happening here also. How it is technically being done, that we are focusing. Okay, guys, chalo, let's focus back again. So we return the order ID. Order ID goes back to the PayPal library. As a step number 1, PayPal is launching that browser pop-up. So our front-end team is also not doing that code. PayPal team has simplified that development that their library itself is going to launch that pop-up. Okay. And once this pop-up is launched, kind of a HDFC Bank, you can imagine, once the pop-up is launched, just see buyer, customer is directly passing whatever username, password onto directly the PayPal system. So by that way, application is secured. We are never capturing the username password at our end. And so it's not like we capture and we give it to PayPal. No, PayPal directly has created a pop-up and customer is directly going there. Means full on safety is there. Customer security is ensured. We are not even asking, we are not even capturing. It's not possible to capture also. So understand, let's try to draw some conclusions what we understood so far. The front-end team uses PayPal SDK to display the button on the screen. Okay. Next, customer clicks PayPal button, control directly goes to PayPal JavaScript SDK. Next, okay, SDK, JavaScript SDK calls our front end, which internally calls our backend, which internally calls create order API, which gives order ID to front end, which gives to JavaScript SDK. This is the full flow. After that, that SDK launches. Just imagine the SDK launches the browser pop-up. Okay, fine. Pop-up ho gaya. And then customer logs in directly there. Customer logs in directly. Okay, so far we are till this point. Let's say after doing the login, maybe on their page, they can change the address or something. Whenever any modification is happening, PayPal SDK is going to tell it to our merchant application. Now, whether we want this address change information in our merchant server, we can. If we want to have that information, we should again expose some APIs where their front-end application will inform us this. So depending upon the need of our project, even though they did not mention it here, but if we want, whenever shipping address is changed, we want to update our system also. In such cases, we need to again expose API and we need to ask them, whenever this data is changing, you give us so we can take it and record into our database. So not everything is going to be explained by third party. They will explain what they do. We need to understand what we like must have for them, plus additionally what we want in our system. We need to add that logic. Okay, understand? So user goes there, he can change some passwords, and whenever that happens, they inform us whether to use this or discard this. That's a separate discussion altogether. It's a new requirement. New coding has to be done for that. But let's say whatever we do, we take it, we save it, we update it into our database. Okay, fine. Next, customer from this page says complete checkout. Nothing but kind of going there, login, OTP, and buying completely. Whatever process PayPal might be happening. So we don't know that. Whatever process PayPal has, customer does the final payment activity and successful and all that. It does it. And then there is a flowback. PayPal checkout calls the PayPal SDK. PayPal SDK calls our front-end application saying customer has approved. Nothing but customer is making the payment. So that reverse flow is going to happen. So customer, that pop-up launches. On the launched pop-up, customer logs in. Customer says, okay, I want to complete this payment. Again, these hooks will be coming. SDK is going to tell the front end, hey, customer has completed the payment. Next, front end is going to now, guys, this last part comes here in the flow. Customer completes. SDK tells to our merchant page. Merchant page is asking us, hey, make a capture order API. Okay, why exactly this is? The PayPal system has developed it something like this. As soon as the customer approves it, money is not going to be debited from his account. PayPal system is like this. After approval, it is mandatory for us to call capture API. Only when we do capture API, PayPal deducts the money from the customer account. So basically, this is how they have built the system. So we need to accordingly understand and build our system in the same manner. Okay, there might be reasons why they have done all this, from safety, security, and our system should definitely know that payment is successful, and then we are making a call. And maybe sometimes it might be two operations. During the day, 1 p.m., customer has approved, but you want to do all this processing as a batch by end of the day. Logics can be anything. So you can call the capture maybe by the end of the day and try to process it. Then the money will be deducted. You don't know basically how requirements might be. But PayPal has given a system which works like this. Okay, what is the system? Step number 1, customer approves. Step number 2, PayPal says, if it is successfully approved, then you call and capture API. Then we deduct the money. If we don't call capture API, money will not be deducted. That's the need of this capture API. So guys, what is the need of order API? To actually create an order at PayPal side and get that order ID. But capture API is where the actual money deduction will happen from the customer. And customer has already chosen which money and account he wants to use with PayPal. Accordingly, when the capture call goes, that's where the money deduction is going to happen. So we need to understand how the system works and then accordingly build our side of the system. Okay, let's draw conclusions about this. Let's go back to our notes. JavaScript SDK launch the browser pop-up and customer logs in directly. After that, customer approves the payment in PayPal page. Once it is done, okay, PayPal JavaScript SDK calls our front end, which calls us for making capture order to PayPal. Okay, now we need to understand this, how PayPal system works. Okay, in PayPal handling, customer should first approve payment, then our system should call capture, then only money is deducted from customer account. This is how flow they have built up. First we call, customer will only approve, and then our system should call the capture, then only money is going to be deducted from the customer account. And for that, the rest of the flow is. So hooks will come, we call and we return. I think it is now very self-explanatory. So PayPal SDK calls our front end, which calls our capture order API. Okay. When we receive call from front end to make capture call, then we invoke PayPal capture API, where the money is finally deducted, and then we confirm back to our front end application. Maybe they will show some message that your payment is successful, and that kind of messaging will happen, and that is this part. The backend then just confirms that order is captured and checkout process is completed, and that is what is the full flow about. Okay, guys, take a minute to launch this URL. I'm pasting it in the chat, and just walk through it for like 2 minutes of time. End-to-end pura flow, you run it without my words. Just run it. Okay, what is happening, how the system is connecting. You can watch it on the screen itself, but if it is somehow small zoomed, I will paste this link in our Google Meet. Go to the chat. Take a second. Okay, pasting it here. You can take the link from here, guys, or you can watch it here as well. But take a moment to just understand this full flow. When in interview they ask a question, okay, tell me about your project. Okay, this thing theoretically you have to explain it, how multiple systems work together. We'll discuss more about it, but this is an important understanding. Chalo guys, please watch it for like a minute. At 11:33 we will continue forward. 11:35. Okay, team, chalo, let's start. Okay, it was simple thing, clear thing, but very important thing. This conversation will be used again and again throughout the project time. Okay, so it's important thing. Okay, fine. Chalo, let's get started. Okay, now what is the next thing? Guys, think logical. If what happens during your project time, this kind of link will be given to you, and now they might say, okay, analyze this, what we are supposed to do. So nobody is going to now tell you what is the next step. You have to think. That's where your brain thinking has to kick in. Okay, now this is the flow, but what should be your next step? You need to think. Your manager doesn't tell you, It's an employee's job. Manager might give this link and say, okay, tell me now what we are supposed to do and how we are supposed to do it. Now you need to start thinking and exploring this documentation by your own self. You have to read, you need to click PayPal multiple side and then understand really what exactly this is. Okay, fine. So the point is, let's start thinking what we are supposed to do. Ultimate thing is, we need to call create order, we need to call capture order. So our general notion will be, let's understand how to call create order and capture order. Okay, because that's our main work. So immediately you will start exploring it. Okay, you will start exploring somewhere. Okay, REST APIs, you know some basics of APIs. Okay, systems communicate based upon APIs. So we can use REST API for communication. Okay, just naturally you will do some clicking here and there. Maybe somewhere they might have given a link for order. You have to read, explore, and then you will somehow find, okay, here it is available. There is something called as orders. So PayPal has provided something called as order. And just see here, okay, they provided something like order. And if you really check it, /v2, what is the naming convention and all? Don't worry about it right now. We are not trying to understand that. We are just trying to understand. Somehow they say create order /v2 /checkout /orders and relate it with our diagram here. So it was also the same. That means you should get confirmation. Oh, you are on the right page. /v2 /checkout /orders. Here also same thing. /v2 checkout orders means you're on the right page. So that means when this flow says our system should call create order, this name is create order, V2's checkout. When the flow says we should call this, that simply means we need to do this portion of integration. We are in a technical world. So speaking in English, we can say call create order. But technically, what does that mean? You need to basically call the endpoint of PayPal where create order is going to be processed. And when you're calling an endpoint, you need to give certain request data. The way on last week we were passing int two numbers, right? num1 and num2. We are giving request data. Here also some request data needs to be provided. And then in response, they are also going to give back some response. So speaking in English, we can say, hey, call that create order. But technically it means the API which PayPal has exposed for create order, we need to call that API, pass the required data and get the required response. That is what we are supposed to do. Okay, so we found this place where create order is available. That's our next successful state. Okay, documentation for create order. And if you see here, some more options are also there. The way create order is there here, like that capture order is also here. So basically capture order is this link. We need to call something like this, V2 checkouts order ID and capture. Go back to the flow diagram. Here also it says V2 checkout orders, then ID and then capture. And here also same pattern is there. That means in this second flow, we are supposed to call this documentation, whatever this is, how the request should be, how the response will be. It's all mentioned by PayPal. We will get this understanding after reading their documentation. So this becomes a capture flow. So you need to explore and find these things in documentation and then relate. Is it really like that? Okay, fine. We got two things. Further, if you really observe, in request, they want a lot of information. Natural question comes, what data are we supposed to pass? What is the meaning of this immediate payment required? What is login? What is get from file? We don't know all that. But technical system, you cannot just pass some static values for everything. We need to know how the request structure is and what data is required for each of this field. How will we know that? Okay, on the left hand side, they have given documentation for that. What is every object? What is the field expected for every object? So that we can make a decision what data to pass for each of these things. So guys, what are we learning from this documentation? Okay, first, which API endpoint to call? We know that already. If you really check it here, we know that this we are supposed to call. So yes, which API endpoint we need to call. Then, okay, what request structure to call? Here they have given some example. Further, they have explained some documentation about that as well. Request body, which fields are required, which fields are optional. They are telling everything clearly. Purchase units. If you click that, just see array is possible. That means nesting could be there in request. Items. Okay, again, it's an array. So we need to really find purchase units. It's an array of objects nesting is there. First one object, then inside that one more items, and then there is some array of some multiple values also. So you need to really check it out here. Relate this example with their documentation. If you really check it out, what are they doing here? They have some object structure. Inside that there is a purchase unit. Just observe on the left hand side. They have some object structure. Inside that they have some purchase unit. Purchase unit is an array. Here also, if you check the documentation, purchase unit is an array. Array means multiple values of same nature we can put here. It's a collection of multiple objects. Now, inside that array, what can be there is explained as well. If you expand this, array of every element can have reference ID, description, customer, invoice, blah, blah, blah. And if you scroll down, every object, items is again optional here. But it can have an items as a nested object, which is an array of object. Okay, then it will have definitely amount, which is a required field. So if you really observe this request structure, so yes, there is an amount, which is a required field. This items is an array, which is an optional field. You should be able to understand their request structure with their documentation. And if you really expand this, amount, just see, it shows this angle bracket. You click this, it is saying amount is not just directly value. Amount is a nested object again. Currency code, value, and something. These two are required. So that is what is available here also. If you look at the amount part, it is again currency code, value available here. So what is the next thing? For every field, what is the meaning of that? In the sample request, they included a lot of optional values also. Does your system need that optional values, or only required is enough? All that decision making needs to be done. Guys, देखो, project में technical coding is what? Calling an API, passing a data. Anybody can do that who knows an API. But what is working on a project means making a decision which data to pass, which data not to pass. And in which data, how are you going to get the values? Who will be providing these values? That needs understanding of the system, and that is experience. So technically, we are like, okay, call this endpoint, but what request structure, what fields? And if you expect everything should be told by other guys to you, then it obviously becomes, then what is the use of you? And that's where it comes like maybe AI can even do a better job than the entry-level people. Because AI will have intelligence which fields to take, which fields not to take. But you have to become smarter. If you just stay for somebody else's instructions and don't use your own sense, basically that's not where the future of IT is going to be. With more of AI evolution, every developer is supposed to think logical and make these decisions. You should show value add in the system. Because of you, project ka advantage is happening. Not like, okay, somebody else told and you just did it. No, start thinking. And guys, unfortunately for you, because AI is here, so you have to grow in your logical thinking right at the beginning of your career. So far it was okay, even for 1-2 years, if you're not catching it, somehow people were surviving because AI option was not there. But AI is forcing people to get logical right at the early times itself, because the tool can do a lot of dumb things, you can do intelligent things. So grow that. Okay, so thoda expectations of the market will change. So start, that's where, take these inputs and start using this. Everything is a learnable skill, nothing is hard. Get the right attitude and work on that. Okay, fine. But what is, okay, what were we discussing since past 5 minutes, 10 minutes? I was not trying to explain you fields. I was not trying to explain you structures. I was just trying to tell you, in the documentation, you need to use your head and read and understand. Oh, JSON format. What is a JSON format? How nestings can happen, how arrays can be represented, what is the value of these things. We can read it from documentation. I was just trying to tell you, it's all there in documentation. You need to think and analyze, and then come up with a proposal, maybe to your technical lead. Okay, how about we do it like this? And the people who actually give this kind of value, they get recognized, opportunity, hikes, and all these things. But yeah, that's the conclusion. Which fields to take, which not to take, separate discussion. We have to code these APIs, so we have to understand everything. But right now I'm telling you, this is the place for starting. Then we will further work on this. But yeah, what's the conclusion here? Okay, what is the conclusion here? What request structure to call? What endpoint to call? We understood. What request structure to call? We understood. Third, we get clear-cut description of entire request structure and its fields. Okay, then we need to analyze and make a decision which fields we will pass and what values of those fields should be. That is what is project implementation. Technically to kuch bhi kar lenge, and you cannot say somebody else tell me. Then like you have to add value, right? That's where you have to think. Okay. And similarly, we can have a response processing. Response processing. So response is also a object, response structure object, nesting is there. Well, you need to understand the values of this. I think if you scroll down here, just see response also they explained. Successful response. If you're getting a successful response, what kind of data will come back? They explained that to you. If you're getting some other kind of errors, then what can come back to you? They explained all these things very properly. So we need to spend some time in reading the request, reading the response, and understanding these things. Okay, fine. But chalo, that was our next point. We went to the diagram. We realized we need to find these two things. We found those two things. And then we are seeing, okay, something is there. Even though you don't know it, but okay, something is there. And we can spend some time, maybe a 1 hour, 2 hours on this documentation and draw some meanings. Sometimes it might just take entire day to read all this and to understand what we should do. Maybe sometimes 2 days. Whatever you finalize, you need to get into a meeting with your other team members and explain your thought process. Then explain them about what you're planning to do. They might ask you questions. 1-2 days might just go in finalizing the request structure. It is all. That's what is working in a project, to make the right decisions, to build the right system which the application needs. Okay, fine. So ye hoga second step, finding it. Now you know, okay, some kind of documentation is there, we can understand. Now immediate next question should come to your mind. Guys, how can we test it? This is an important step. PayPal is saying that, okay, when you call this endpoint, you will get this response. This is what is the field. But is their API really working the way they are saying? Ideally, it should work. But as a developer, before you start coding, you need to test whatever PayPal is saying right now. Is it really working like that or not? One confidence should come to the developer. Once you get that confidence, then only you can code this API or integrate this API. So what is our next step? Our next step is we need to test this API. We need to test if the PayPal API is working the way their documentation says. Because once we see it is working, then we can experiment with that API. We can call that, we will get a response, maybe we'll get some ID. So first we will experiment, then we will see how the PayPal system is working. And then we will draw conclusions. Yeah, this is how the system works. And now we can start our Java coding. This takes maybe a few days of time itself. Now, first to understand contract is a different thing. Now to understand PayPal system by experimenting, that itself is a 2-3 days of work. But we are going to finish all that as part of today's session, at least first draft of it. Pura ka pura is not going to be possible, but we will try at least the first draft today. And then today itself, you do the same setup at your side and have the same understanding today of the first working draft about how to test the PayPal APIs. Guys, put on full focus. Interesting discussions are happening. Still, it will continue for the next 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Okay, put your full focus. Valuable discussions are happening. You have to do all these things today. Okay, fine. Let's go. Okay, everybody, let's go. So this is the documentation. And this is where we are right now. APIs we found, okay, something is there, but we need to test it. We need to see how it works. So whatever they document, is it really working like that? And then we want to test it. So that is our next step, test. Okay, so our next step will be test the PayPal APIs and analyze how they are working, so we can make decision of how to implement it in our system. That is what it is. Then comes the question, how to test. So far, whatever we were doing in the week number 1, for testing, we went to browser. Browser say we created a URL for /add and maybe num1 equal to something, num1 equal to 3 and num2 equal to something. Okay, fine. Num2 equal to 5. From browser we were doing. But guys, this is a very complex structure. It cannot be replicated in browser. Second thing, right now we are not getting into this get post. We are going to discuss about that when we discuss REST API concept in this week itself. But browsers can do only get kind of request. In URL, whatever you type, only get can go. Post is not able to happen. That means, conclusion that I'm trying to draw here is, browser is not sufficient to make API call. Okay. Further, PayPal has given some option that you can do a try it here itself. In their web documentation itself, you can click on this try it, and then here itself you can try to make an API call. So sometimes these systems will give this kind of option. Even Swagger based API call will be there, which can happen from your browsers itself. Okay, like this. Browsers means not via URLs, but some additional capability on their website added so that you can make the API call from this place. But again, these are, yes, ways available to do, but one of the most widely used system in industry for API testing, one of the widely used software is Postman. It's available for all, anybody can download it. So Postman is one of the option. If you want some other, guys, n number of softwares will be there. Whichever you are more comfortable, you can use it. Okay. Generally, for these softwares, some companies might take licensed versions, paid accounts. Sometimes they might just do it in a free accounts. It depends on your project. So wherever you are going, you need to discuss it with your team. Okay, what softwares we use, and are we using the open free version of that, or company ka license version is available. You have to make sure you used the company authorized softwares. For big companies, they will have these softwares in central place. Okay, that means you cannot just go to Google, search, download and install. No, company will have restrictions. When you are installing on company laptops, security teams will be there. Some permissions might not be there. You need to ask for approval. For software installation also, there is going to be a system. I'm just trying to tell you, it's not always go to Google, find and install. You need to ask with your team members, okay, are there some central software for the company? They will give you some link from there, download and install. Sometimes you might not have installation permissions. In that case, you need to talk to the IT support team. Where is the IT support team? Your managers can help you with that. Then they will say, you can simply ask to your team members, how do I install these softwares? Should I like just go get it from Google, or is there a central repository or some central place in the company? And somebody will guide you with the process. So be okay to ask. Many of the people in beginning is nervous because they are like, if I ask wrong question, then what will happen? So you should ask question based upon your whatever knowledge you have. Okay, don't try to make assumptions. If you know, you say I know. If you don't know, try to put it like I don't know this, and then like how to do it in your project. Then somebody will guide you. They will ask you, how did you do earlier? They will ask you that, and for that you have to tell whatever we are doing in the internship. You should say, I did it like this in my previous project, but I'm not aware of what you guys are doing. Is it the same approach, or you have some other software, some other process for doing it? Let me know so I can also follow the same. Okay, so but please be aware, no need to be nervous and worried in the industry. Jo aata hai, take that. Whatever you know, take that, and whatever you don't know, politely answer it to other. They will ask you, how did you do earlier? That's a natural question. Then you have to relate this knowledge. This is how I did it. Okay, so don't be too much in a panic state. Arey, kya bolu abhi? Whatever you know, you say, man. Okay, fine. Okay, let's continue. So we will use something like Postman. The link, I think you can just get it from internet itself. I will paste the link as well. Just search download Postman for whatever your OS is there. You will get it. And guys, Postman looks something like this. Okay. So Postman looks something like this. Just observe. This tool is like a Postman. I have already launched it. This icon that you see is a Postman related icon. So I would show the demonstration via this. The tool is very much capable to do a lot of API testing. Free version is available for this. Paid version is also available for this. Paid version has far more feature, advanced feature as well. It's a very big tool with a lot of features and capabilities. Okay. In free version also, all the major things, whatever we need on a day-to-day development of project, everything is just available. So you don't need to go for any other paid version. It is giving entire required thing. Okay, fine. So using Postman, we can do API testing. That is what it is about. Okay. So let's say what is happening. Now we come to a point. Something is there. They are providing something like collection. We know collection maybe logically makes sense. Even if you are new to these tools, you have to understand and make some sense. Collection means, okay, collect something together. Right? Okay, so find collections. So for this project, we can create a new collection. Let's click on plus symbol, create new collection. The tools are self-explanatory. You can just do some clicking and self-figure out. You don't need always to go to internet for everything. Guys, please understand, that's intelligence now, right? You observe, you make sense. You don't need to always go to ChatGPT, how to learn Postman. Basic things, you can just catch it on the fly by clicking buttons and making some sense. You don't have to always read step-by-step bullets for everything or watch a video on YouTube for like how to work. If you do that, very granular, detailed knowledge will come. But you have to make a decision when to do that, when not to do that. The tools they create in such a manner so that it should be easy to learn for everyone. So on simple things, should we really put that much of time? You have to make that decision. If you need that much of time, you want to explore via watching videos, asking AI, reading and experimenting, fine, it's your choice. But there is a cost of time. You have to spend more time to figure out. We have bigger things also to be done. So I'm just telling you, yeah, you can do that. But the learning which I'm trying to tell you is tools, softwares in real world are made self-explanatory. There is a lot of smart teams working to making it self-explanatory. Did you learn how to use Facebook? No, aa gaya. Instagram, aa gaya. Any new app, YouTube, aa gaya. Maybe some people might have done it, but otherwise self-explanatory tools are there. So try to speed up your learning curve. That's the conclusion of our last few minutes of discussion. Okay, not everything needs very detailed. Here it's very self-explanatory. Okay, Postman, it is saying do a mouse over. Clear cut is there. Create new collection. Arey wah. Yeah, we want to create a new collection. Okay, let's say create blank collection. empty. Some ready-made templates are also there. Now you can make some experimentation. More templates there. If you need a lot of things, it's a big tool. Let's create a blank connection to start with. Blank means empty. Collection is a place where you can store things. Okay, let's name it April 25 CT. Okay. So initially it's a blank collection. There is no request here. So what are we discussing here? For API testing, we want to use some software. We are going to use Postman software. It will have a lot of options here and there for doing this, for doing that. Okay, Postman we are using. It's commonly used, widely used. We can stick with it. Next, for Postman setup, we created a collection. Now, what do we want to test here? We want to test create order a PayPal API call. Second, what do we want to test here? We want to test capture order PayPal API call. Okay, something. Okay, now automatically how to do this? How to really call create order via this one? Okay, guys, the world is made far more simple. Okay, you can simply go here. Just see, there is a representation called as curl. Curl is a kind of command which you just take this curl command and you can make an API call. So just observe here. Just observe. It's a few 2-3 steps. You will get it from here. Go to create order. In the upside, sample request, there is a curl tab. They have given some option to copy directly. So when you copy, it gives a curl representation. Guys, curl is also a command to make an API request. For now, just fine. CURL, curl, okay, is also a command to make API request. It is always available in your command prompt. For example, curl. If you do like this, it's all there, always installed with you in your directly Windows installation. You can directly go here and try to take this command and run it from your command prompt as well. And that's what curl is, a command to make an API call directly without need of any Postman and any other software installation. So they have provided that curl representation also. But we don't want to go with curl because again, command line is not that flexible in terms of editing and other things. We want to do it via Postman. Approach is something like this. Guys, just observe, you will catch it immediately. Go to create order, click on curl, copy the curl command which is coming, copy. Postman is giving you an option to import from curl command, paste your curl here. So you don't have to manually do the setup. You just take the curl, import it into your Postman. So whatever PayPal was saying here for request, all of that will come and it will be set up in your Postman tool. That's how we are going to do our API testing. We don't have to manually create it. We go copy the curl, import curl directly. Curl is a command which can make API call by itself, but it will take this if we paste it and create how to make API call via Postman also. So it will read the curl command and do the required setup in the Postman side so that you can make the API call. Okay, so we have imported. Click import, pasted it here, and then which collection you want it to be added? We want it to be on April 25 CT. What name you want of this connection? We can simply say PayPal. Let's say PayPal. What is this API? Create order API. Something for ease of understanding sake. And then say import into collection. Boom. Okay. Something came. Do we know where this URL came from? No. But this URL was read from this place. API MC sandbox paypal.com v2 checkout order. That is the URL. It has to be post. Post came here. Next, it should have -h means headers. Some headers should be there. You go to the headers. Okay, some headers are also available here. As part of the header, PayPal request ID is there. For every request, they want certain unique ID. So that is what is PayPal. How will you know that this is a unique ID? We need to read through the left-hand side. For every request, they want some ID to be passed back. So yes, we can pass PayPal request ID. We will read the field by field explanation later. Right now, I'm just trying to tell whatever the curl syntax was, it is taken and loaded into your Postman. Some authorization is there. What is this authorization? So far, we have not discussed about it, but somehow we loaded. It's okay. बाद में देखते हैं rest of the things. Okay, fine. So far, we are here. And then we go for what? Request structure. Try to logically see. Request means looks like a body. Click on the body and just observe. It's a JSON representation. Whatever they mentioned here as part of request, it's available in the body. And just see, it pre-filled it. It was a JSON structure, so Postman automatically filled raw JSON. That's what it came here. Everything ready-made. We did not type even a single line. You saw we imported. PayPal has done the hard work for us to create this for us. So we have just copied it and we imported and we are putting it here. Okay, and fine, we got some headers, we got some authorization, blah, 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 blah. Let's try to make this API call. We don't know anything else. We are newly learning PayPal system. Logical thing was get the endpoint to be called. Second logical thing was use a tool to call it. So we took the endpoint. Rather than we developing it, we copied it. So tool this automatically. And then whatever came, we are making an API call called as send. This is what is going to happen to you also today. We copied. We made a call. Guys, what are we doing here? In the week number 1, understand what we are doing here. Don't just take it as statements. In the week number 1, we created a Spring Boot application. In the week number 1, we created a Spring Boot application. And as part of that, exposed an API/add. And then this API we tested from browser URL. Something localhost blah blah blah, and from there we made this add call. Nothing but from an external system we were trying to execute the business logic that we implemented. Same thing now we are doing. PayPal is that external system. PayPal is that external system. PayPal has written some business logic. Let's say they have some method called as create order, and which is taking some request and doing some response processing. Some response business logic execution and response processing. As part of week number 1, we discussed how the real world gives domain mappings not based upon server IP and port number. That is what is happening here. In the real world, PayPal has set up a domain API-M sandbox.com, sandbox.paypal.com, and then some path. Let's dissect this. What do we learn from this? Multiple things. Guys, put your entire focus. Every step has so much of observations. What do we learn from this? Okay, there is domain mapping. Okay, that is clear. We already discussed last week. Domain mapping is there. Behind this domain mapping, we know that public IP or destination, public destination IP of PayPal system will be there. And we know that because it is HTTPS in nature, by default, 443 port will be opened at PayPal side, which is going to receive our request. Okay, can we just try to do some experimenting here once again? Copy this, CMD. Let's see, NS lookup, paste, Coming or not? When we try to look, we are able to find, oh, this is the PayPal IP behind the screen. On this IP, definitely 443 port is going to be hosted, which is going to receive the request, and then it will be further giving it to their backend system, which might be running on whatever port. We already discussed this. We are just connecting the dot. So yes, first we understand domain mapping. Okay. Second thing you got to understand here, guys, what we are trying to do. We are trying to make a create order API call. Create order API call. That means it will give us some ID on which customer can make a payment. Guys, money transaction we are trying to do, be aware of that. We are trying to test a money transaction. Automatically question will come. Who is going to give the money? Where the credit card is going to be there? Where the debit card is going to be there? And can you do testing in the live environment of PayPal? Means real money will be required. How the payment integration actually works? These are now big questions will come to our mind, because we want to test money transaction. Where is the money going to come from, right? It's a money transaction. So how the world works for these all kind of payment systems, in the back end, they have two types of systems, guys. For all these general payment systems, in the back end, they will have two type of systems. One is going to be live system, which deals with live money, actual credit card details, actual accounts and everything. A live system is going to be there. Live system. Live system is going to be available, where everything is going to be live. Money, transactions, bank accounts, everything is live. But we cannot use live system while we are doing development and testing of that, right? Who is going to always pass money, even if it is like some cents, right? Not practical. For testing purpose, the real world creates a test system. Test system, the functionality will be exactly like the live system. Okay. Sometimes version difference might be there. They deployed something in test, and after 2 days they might release into production. But on an average, you can say whatever in the real world they give it in live, same features, same facility, they will give it in the test system also. Because we want to do a money transaction, so test money is going to be required, not using the live money. So how do we do transaction? Using the test system which is provided by these guys. That's how the development is going to happen. Live system deals with live money. Test system deals with test money. And for coding, for our Postman testing, we need to work with the test system. How to access the test system? The terminology, one of the terminology which is used in the industry is sandbox. Sandbox means test system. When you go to production, you will not be invoking this endpoint. So test environment endpoint is different domain. Live environment endpoint is going to be a different domain. Please try to understand. Take a moment to absorb this information. PayPal is one system, but it will somehow offer us different domains. This is a testing system domain. That means if you want to really do only testing, at that time, there will be a test system ka IP. And from your Postman currently, when we call, we will be getting it to this place. When we want to make a production related, then the URL will be different. The domain is going to be different. That will go to the live system. If you are making create order call on a live system, everything will happen like live. And if you make it on a test system, everything will happen like test money, testing capability. So PayPal is one, but behind the screen, they will have two systems, live and test. Test system is used for all testing purpose, integration purpose. When other companies want to integrate with PayPal, we will do entire development testing via test system, where real money is not involved. And once we do that entire stuff, when we are ready to go to production with our system, at that time, we need to create a live system for us. and then point to the PayPal live system. Okay, don't worry about that. I will repeat this point later when we get into more details about live setup. For now, just ignore. For now, just see. PayPal is going to have two systems, live and test. Live deals with live money, real cards, real bank accounts. Test system deals with everything temporary, everything test in nature. So you can confidently talk to this endpoint and work with this. Live system will have a different domain, so you are safe. Okay, and I don't know, maybe even if you use your live credit card on a test domain, will the money be actually deducted? Mostly it will not happen, but don't experiment, okay, unnecessarily. We did the experiment in our, while we were working early days in some other integration. Basically it was safe, the money does not deduct, but don't experiment unnecessarily. And if you use test card on a live system, definitely it does not work. So that will also not be working out, so please make sure. Okay, fine. But let's draw a conclusion. Then we go to the next point. What is the second thing that we learn here? The domain is a sandbox domain. Okay. Test domain is a sandbox based domain or sandbox domain. Nothing but a test system or a system set up for testing PayPal. Next, during development time, we integrate with PayPal test system, nothing but sandbox system, not the live system. Okay, entire coding, testing, reviews all happen on sandbox. Once we are ready to go live, only the domain changes, rest of the functionality remains the same. Only instead of pointing to the test, we will point it to the live. It's PayPal responsibility to make sure the way the system was working in test, same way it should work in live also. That's PayPal responsibility. So that's the responsibility of the provider, whichever the way it works in test, request structure, response structure and all, because we will develop as per test. If the test and the prod is different, as soon as we go live production, our system is going to fail. So please understand, we are going to call the endpoint. We will pass some request structure. What if the request structure of test is different, prod is different? Then our production system will start breaking. So it cannot happen, because it's PayPal responsibility to make sure the way test system works or sandbox system works, same way prod system should also work. So in the end, when we want to go to production, our simple approach will be, once we are ready to go live, okay, we switch to PayPal prod system and go live. That's it. Live में बस point करना है domain. Okay, it's PayPal responsibility to ensure both live and test system should be the same. If it is not same, systems will crash. So they will ensure that it is always safe. So, but still, from our perspective, what will be our approach as a technical developer? Dekho guys, blindly trusting the other systems, that's not the way we should do. Okay, we cannot blindly trust. What if they don't work? Our customers are, dekho, this is again important. We said, right, in the week 1 related discussion, become a player. A player is what? Taking responsibility of the client, of the project, of the company, of the team. They go, at least forget about all. Take the responsibility of the project, not just your work, but of the project. Okay. And try to think that mindset right now. Okay, project should not fail. Have that kind of affection and dedication to your projects. Okay, no, yaar, it should always work. Because if the projects fail, guys, I'm telling you, entire team ka reputation goes bad. Doesn't matter then who is performing good, who is performing bad. If the project fails in production or anywhere, customers are unhappy, then doesn't matter who did what. Entire team gets the reputation for that. So for becoming a player, taking responsibility of the project. So what we'll do, the right approach will be, once we are ready to go live, we switch to prod domain. But how we do it is, initially we switch to prod and do quick one round of testing with live card. Maybe your manager might give you a card, or a product owner might give a card and say कि भाई $1 card charge कर लो, or maybe a few cents you can charge the amount. But yes, you will do that one round of transaction just to make sure the way PayPal system was working in non-prod, same way it is working in prod also. Once you do one successful transaction, then you can be like, okay, so that means rest of the system might also work, and then you open it for the rest of the world to actually start using. So a strategy is there. I'm just trying to share some thoughts. Okay, we switch to prod, do one quick round of testing with live card. Once it's working fine, then we open our live system for rest of the world. It's all possible. It can all be done. First, we will open the domain only for the company IP address, so the rest of the world cannot access your site or application for live system. Once we do our testing, once everything looks good, then we will remove that IP whitelisting so that everybody of the world can also access our system. So it's all doable. Everything can be done. But yeah, what is the conclusion of the last few minutes? During payment integrations, we cannot do development pointing to the live systems because real money will be required there. It will kill our time, efforts, everything. So payment service providers, so we are using a terminology PSP, payment service providers, they will set up a test environment or a sandbox environment or a non-prod environment, whatever they call, or a staging environment. Different terms might be there. PayPal is using sandbox as the term. So the payment service provider will set up a test account. We do our entire development testing pointing to the test setup. Once we are ready, then we point to the live setup, and then the customers will actually be going on the live setup where the real money and transactions will be happening. Okay, guys, are we clear with this? Please give a quick thumbs up. Team clear? You need to know the real time how systems work. Then confidence will automatically come during interview because yeah, you know things, not just technical part, but project related awareness is there. Okay, good stuff, guys. Thanks for confirming. Let's move forward. Okay, chalo, let's move forward. Fine. Okay, now the next thing is once the live system is coming up, once the test is coming up, now we went to curl, imported that, sandbox is test, we did that. The further path remains the same. The further path is going to call some functionality in the PayPal system. Further path is going to call some functionality in the test environment of the PayPal system and trying to run some logic. And we called it. And when we went to the Postman, we are getting an error. That means as it is the endpoint, whatever curl CURL that we copied and executed, that is not functional. Fine. And the naming is saying something invalid token, unauthorized, nothing but some security is coming in picture here. Some security aspect. Everything while experimenting, observe and learn. This says some security protocol is being implemented in between when our system is trying to talk to their system. So let me put up here, there is a Postman. I'll just put up a box here. Let's say this box is a Postman box. Postman we are using for our API testing. Postman we are using for API testing. And from Postman, we are making a call to the test environment system. Ideally, it should have worked, but it is not working. We are getting something called as error, invalid token. What is all this token? Logically means something is wrong. We are not able to successfully call it. What's wrong? That itself says some security principle is applicable between these two systems. And that is failing it. Some security mechanisms so that anybody from the world cannot access these APIs. Some security principles are implemented. Where do we know these security principles? Immediately, as soon as you get this, you need to go back to the documentation to understand what's going wrong. Why am I not getting response? Run your thoughts. Run your thoughts. Documentation has everything. Okay, we go back to documentation. We go back to create order and we are like, why? They are saying if you call this request, you will be getting this response. We are getting something else. What's wrong? Read, observe, something invalid token. Kya ho gaya bhai? Kya ho gaya? And then you will say, oh, security. And you should be like, okay, I don't know anything about this. I have not read also this section. Let me open. So it is saying some OAuth 2.0 authentication based security is implemented. Who has defined this? PayPal has defined it. So it is not our responsibility to define this security. When we call PayPal system, PayPal has to define what kind of security approach they want to apply. So we need to be careful in which cases we can define and in which cases third parties are defining. We cannot say PayPal, hey, don't give us OAuth, give me something else. PayPal will be like, idra sale, kaan ke niche dega. You need to understand whose responsibility is what in the entire project building application. It's not like everybody does everything and you cannot dictate the rules. You are trying to integrate with PayPal. You need to understand how their system works. If PayPal is giving you multiple options, okay, we have OAuth also, we have this also, then yes, you can choose which one you want. But here, they're clearly saying OAuth 2-based security, one approach is available, so we have to use this approach only. How is that approach? What is that approach? Later story. Right now, we are just trying to make it run. We are not even trying to understand this system, how PayPal is. But we are getting some clarity as part of our testing only. Okay, PayPal has some OAuth 2.0 based security implemented when we are trying to call their system. So if we are not abiding by this, results are not going to come. Then automatically your brain should be like, bhai, ye kya ho gaya? What is this now? From where do I get it? Dekho, immediate, because you were a student for the rest of your past life, 20 years you were a student, 18 years you were a student. And lot of our education system immediately triggers you when you face exception, when you get something which is not working. Your natural instinct is trained in the past 15 years to ask for help to other people. That's how 90% of people are. That's how I was when I started my IT career. Those are deep wired instincts for past 15 years of your life. When errors are happening, when exceptions are happening, your mind tells you, okay, somebody help me. That is how majority of our education system has grown. We go to guides, we go to textbooks. We don't go to our brain to think, oh, kya karna padega. That naturally does not come to people. Majority is thinking like that. You will also get this kind of panic situation. Are nahi chal raha. Are now what is happening? What should I do? Mind will become blank. And same thing during interview exposes people, whether they really know it or not. We need to rewire this past 15 years of wiring. How our approach should be. We need to rewire your thought process. These are basic instinct changing. When exception happens, when exception, problem happens, don't look for solution outside. Nobody is there for you. You have to think like that. Nobody is there for you. Internet is there. And your brain is there. These two partners. Using this, you can do amazing things. And far more solution than any human being can provide is available here. And your best friend now is AI tools. It can give you whatever you need. Far more than any human being can ideally assist you. But you need to ask right things, have the patience to apply. So yes, you have an AI friend with you. That's your problem fixer, basically. Earlier, that was not there to the world, but now your life could be simple if you advance quickly and adapt to it. But we have to change our natural wiring. When exception problem occurs, don't look for solutions from don't look for help from other guys. Nobody's coming. You have to develop instinct that immediately think logical, with your brain on how to solve, what to do. When your thought process changes, your approach will automatically change. Okay, how to solve, and switch to internet and AI. It will take more time. Because I know the solution, I will tell you in 2 minutes. But when you go to internet and AI, it will need maybe 30 minutes. But that is what is experience. And when you put many such 30 minutes in your journey, your knowledge grows. If you just take something in 2 minutes, direct solutions, when you are not thinking, the brain never captures the learnings. That's how our mind works. Things which came quickly goes quickly, but something for which you have put effort, that develops as knowledge in your mind. And that's the difference between people. After 5 years in the industry, some became extremely great and some are still struggling with the basics because of whatever this shortcut related path is destroying a lot of IT careers. Okay, so please develop this instinct, mindset, thought process change has to happen. Then you will do something big with your life and your IT career as well. So what is your approach? This is your approach. Please develop this properly. Let's move forward. Okay, let's move forward. So ye karna hai. So right now, when you're getting this exception, rather than panicking, and guys, it's easy to blame. It's easy to always blame. Even though if it is your mistake, you will find human attitude is there. I'm not saying ke, it's problem in you. It's a problem in human being design, the way we are. As soon as we get a failure, we start blaming. Kis pe dale bhai? Okay, you have done it. You have done it. Because again, past 20 years of your life wiring, it's easy to feel okay, we are great, everybody else is the problem. That's human nature. We need to override this also. If you want success, you have to override that. You have to accept we might have done something wrong. I don't know something. Let me grow my knowledge, and that is wisdom. Don't blame others. Take it on yourself. What can I do to change this situation? You have to correct your thought process and the mindset, and then reflect that during conversations, during interview. That shows maturity, and people want to work with this kind of thought process related people as well. So here, your immediate thing should be, okay, I might have done something wrong here. Where did I go wrong? Let me figure out. And then where can I figure out? Okay, let me read documentation. Maybe that will tell me something. If that is not available, then you go to AI. Okay, so thinking, and then maybe wahan pe bhi nahi mil raha hai, then go to Google and internet. Then step by step, read, understand, experiment. And then after 1 hour, you will be a better person than who you were 1 hour before. Without doing that activity, 2 months will pass, you will still remain the same. Brain grows when you work and when you think, and when you develop knowledge, when you keep the knowledge in your brain. So please do that. It's a very smart way of growing. Everybody should do that. So now let's do it. That's where I'm going through step by step, not giving you solutions. I'm taking you through the thinking path. Observe even that part here. We are walking through the thinking path. Okay, we copied, now some error. Arre, abhi kya kare? No, instinct will say to go here and there and talk to people. No, you have to reverse that. Okay, what have I done wrong? Maybe I did something wrong. Accept that. Think from that perspective. Go to documentation, go to internet. So now we are going to documentation first of all. And the documentation told us, okay, some security is there. OAuth 2.0. And then again, like, how to implement OAuth 2.0 to make this work? We don't know that. Again, you have to read more through the documentation. देखना पड़ेगा ऊपर नीचे, अरे कहाँ है भाई ये सब? Token we need to call, but how to call this token? Where is all this available? It's saying you need to call this v1/OAuth2/token. How to call this token? We don't know that. Okay. Now, for all these concerns, you have to again read more documentation. And generally, we know, right? Starting point is the starting point. If for making an API call, they want the security, maybe that could be the starting point. Curiosity and some authentication. When you open your eyes and look for things, you will see things. Authentication. And here also, it is like unauthorized. So some security ki batein chal rahi hai. Maybe this is the places where you have to explore with. And you're starting with a REST API. Maybe this getting started with REST API could be a starting point. And that's how you should think and connect the dot. Nobody tells you go there and click there. Your brain should guide you. Maybe there might be a solution. Become an explorer. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Self. Okay. Now we get to this point. REST API. Let me put this URL in documentation. REST API. Getting started with PayPal REST API. Okay. What they're saying, PayPal uses REST. What is REST? REST is a standard to be followed, rules, guidelines, standards about how to develop an API for communicating between two systems. What are these standards? We will speak it in week 2 some other day. But PayPal is developed based upon REST standards. Oh, wonderful. Authentication is happening with OAuth 2.x. Now your brain can relate. Okay, somehow looks like my authentication itself is failing. OAuth ki baatein ho rahi hai, and your PayPal is saying, yeah, it happens. And then OAuth 2.0, access tokens. This should give you clarity. Oh, here also they are saying some token signature, token, matlab correct hai. We are in the right place. Connecting the dots is required. Okay, token ki something is required. And return HTTP response code, and then some JSON is going to be there. Okay, fine, we know that. In response, JSON is going to be there. Furthermore, HTTP codes can come 200, 201. What is this HTTP codes? We will discuss it when we discuss REST API concepts again. Not required to confuse right now. But some HTTP response codes are coming, JSON-based bodies coming. And guys, in one line, they have explained what is PayPal integration. In one line. Einstein said, right? You should be able to explain things to even a child. This simple one line defines what PayPal is. PayPal uses REST, authentication via OAuth access tokens, uses HTTP response codes, and responses are given in the form of JSON that defines how the system works. And then you're saying you can test the integration from PayPal developer account. Okay, something called as PayPal developer account. New term we are listening for the first time. We can do the setup or testing using PayPal developer account. Okay, fine. Right, next, let's go forward in the documentation. For going live, we need a business account. So anyways, when we are going to go live, we need to have a business account. But right now, for testing purpose, we need to have a PayPal developer account. Please be aware, there is a business account concept. Business account is for live system. Developer account is for testing system. Right now, we need for test system. So developer account we can create and we can get started with that. But for going live, we need to create a different system, business account. Anyways, who will do all these things when you go to production system? Product owner is responsible for this. Who will create the actual live system? Product owner or the client side person, not even your tech leads. Setting up these live systems for the business is the responsibility of the business team and product owners. It doesn't even come to the technical team. We are supposed to do coding and testing and pointing to the system which will be created. Please be aware. Let me write down one liner. Setting up live business account is responsibility of clients or business team, or they will ask product owner to do that. It will not be done by technical team. That's a general standard. Sometimes they might come and say, hey, technical guy, manager, you do it. Not the entire team. Managers, can you do it? And managers have to keep the live credentials only to secrecy. Okay, fine. Fine, that's okay. Next, moving on. What next they are saying is, just observe here. When they speak about OAuth security, it is saying OAuth basically needs client ID and client secret. Next, there is a process. That means if in order to work with APIs, you need access token. Read this, understand. It is saying invalid token. Your mind should tell you, okay, we don't have something called as access token. How to get access token? We are trying to understand here by reading these things. So, multiple steps. Step number 1, we need to get some client ID, client secret. Second, we need to get some access token. Step number 3, we need to get sandbox account credentials for testing purpose. And then basically we do the testing. So in the getting started portion, They clearly specified what are our steps to work. So spend some time in reading documentation. Our steps to test this PayPal system is step number 1, get client ID and client secret. How to test PayPal APIs. Somehow, from where to get it, we need to read the documentation. Get the client and client ID, client secret. Step number 2, generate access token. Get access token somehow. Step number 3, get sandbox account credential. Okay, PayPal sandbox is a test environment that mirrors real world transaction. Okay, and then they have some setup also possible. So they are giving, okay, from where we can get it. Get some test accounts for testing. So that's the third thing. Get sandbox account credentials for testing. And then comes the fourth number step, make API call. How did we land here? Nobody told us to go here. But when we experimented, we made a call and we realized token ka problem ho raha. And then we realized, oh, token not working. We came to this place and then we went. You can directly go to beginning and then you will already know this is how you're supposed to do. But thinking is required. Any approach is fine. You can come here, go here, or start bottom. But finally, you need to do everything what is required to make it work. Okay, fine. So chalo, now let's get into more detail. Let's get into more detail. What is the first step? We need client ID and client secret. PayPal integrations use these two things, client ID, client secret, to authenticate API calls. Okay. A client ID, then they have provided some definitions of that. The client ID identifies an app. You only need a client ID to get the PayPal button and standard credit and debit options. A client secret authenticates the client ID to call PayPal APIs. Okay, this is what it is. This is the important statement. First, we need to have client ID and client secret. Second, what they are saying, to call PayPal APIs, you will exchange your client ID and client secret for an access token. This is what is the process. First, we need to get our client ID and client secret. Second, we need to exchange this client ID and client secret and get an access token. That is what is the second step. How to get the client ID and client secret? Okay, step-by-step process is there. You can do a sign up or you can do a login. So today, all of you will be creating an account of test environment so that you can all do the testing today. So sandbox account we will be creating today, guys. So all of you have to do this. So yes, they have given multiple links, login to dashboard, and then we can find this. Okay. However, after doing some experimenting, sometimes when you do this sign up from here, it might ask your phone number and valid email and those kind of things for reference. However, we found out in the PayPal related some links itself, there is a link where even without providing your mobile contact number, they are creating accounts. So I will just share you that kind of a link, okay, which is available here. They created this kind of a link majorly for the US related market for testing. But yes, since our client is planning to operate more in US and European area, and our business account will be set up in US itself, so business account for running our integration, so we can happily go ahead setting up a US account. Okay. So PayPal, that's what you can see here. You can test US integrations with PayPal developer account. They offer it for the rest of the world also, but they have some more support provided for to test within the US related areas. So we can utilize it effectively for our purpose also. So our client business account will be set up in US itself. And for US guys, they are providing some better way of doing testing in a quick manner without asking for more informations like contact details and all that. So we want to take advantage of this simple setup. So accordingly, we will do it at our side as well. So that is where we found, okay, this is a link for creating your account. Yes, it is a paypal.com, but some provision flow, okay, and for US related, you can simply launch this link, guys. Okay, so just go to the browser and launch this kind of a link. and you can create your developer account for testing purpose. Okay. Keep US itself, because they will be able to manage things smoothly. Our live business account will be created there, so better you choose also the same one. Okay. Now you can choose any of your email, whichever you are planning to use. Choose that valid email. Sometimes OTP verifications and all that might also happen. So choose your valid email, don't choose anything random, and then create a proper password for yourself. Okay, so your step number one is going to be just simply access this, pass your details, okay, your email, choose US. Next, choose your email and password. That's how you set up the account. Now, I have already created one account for myself. So from tomorrow, we will be using that whenever we are experimenting. But for today, in front of you to live demonstrate this, I will create a temporary email. Okay. Let me choose something like temp mail, right? I think some temp mail site is there. Yeah. It creates temporary mail, which is disposable. So only for today's demonstration, I'm creating from some temporary location. It generates some temporary mail for usage. Okay, so fine. I'm using this. You use your actually Gmail or whatever valid email. You use a valid email. It will be required all throughout the 2 months. Okay, but I am using this one. So I copy this link and pasting the email here. And I can just, for example's sake, I am pasting it here. Next, if you just want to know, I think this is temporary email generation link. Temp mails can be found here. Okay. You should, however, use your valid email, since we need this developer account for entire 2 months. We will need this for entire 2 months. So please choose your valid email. That is fine. Okay, next. So we come here, we pick this email, we find this. Okay, choose some password. So I'm choosing whatever, some existing password, whatever follow the terms, and then go ahead, create account. Okay, just see. Okay, I'm just doing a never for this because I created it only for this demonstration right now. But see, there is this dashboard account which is created. So how do we get client ID and client secret? Again, kahan se pata hai? Documentation is saying you need to sign up. Okay, we did the sign up. How did we do? We followed certain process. After signing up, we are logged in into dashboard. Observe. After signing up, we are logged in into dashboard. What PayPal is saying, select apps and credentials. Okay, go there in dashboard. There is a tab called as apps and credentials. Okay, great. There, some client ID and client secret is available. Super. So where do you find client ID and client secret? You need to create a developer account. It is telling clearly it is a sandbox account. You're in sandbox mode, test mode. If you want to convert to a live account, they will ask you to provide your business account details. But anyways, we are going to first do only testing and integration. So don't try to just go in live related setup. Everything should be test related money. So yes, by default, we are here. This is the URL. I will paste this URL. So what's our process? Create developer account on below URL. Done. Next, this creates in sandbox mode. Okay, super. Fine. Some credentials I have provided. Okay, temp mail done. Okay, access dashboard. This is how your dashboard will be there. So you have to say, like during interview time, we have a test dashboard where we can do our testing. So some test accounts were created by PayPal. Their client ID and client secret was available. We utilized it for making our API calls. You'll get full clarity as we start going through it one by one. So what is our first number step? Get client ID, client secret. How to get that? Client, select, login there, select app and credentials. Next, new accounts. We created a new account. Come with a default application in the REST API app section. Nothing but we have a new account, REST API app section. We have a default application. So one application is already available. If you want to create more setup with PayPal, different accounts with different client ID, client secret, possible. But let's go ahead with the default value. Okay. Something which they have already set up, we are going to use that for our purpose. Important thing here. Keep this information very secure. So guys, first thing, live account, client ID, client secret will not be even shared with the technical team. Second, even for the test environment, the client ID and client secret you have, you are not supposed to share it outside your team. In the same company, let's say multiple teams are working, different guys want to do PayPal setup. No, for your team, they will be having some client ID, client secret. It is not supposed to be given to anybody, even within the same organization outside your team, unless your manager approves it. Sometimes business and management might decide to share it. Only in such cases, based upon your manager approval, you should give. Not like my friend is working in that company, I want to give him. Arey nahi bhai, can't ho jayega. Definite termination will happen. Definite. Okay? You cannot share this information outside. It is for your team, test account created. So you have to use it. Deal with systems responsibly. It's not child time or school time. Okay, whatever you feel like you can do. No. Data sensitivity is a very critical thing. Be careful. Why we are discussing this? Our majority is beginners and freshers. Yeah. So for that, it needs to be spoken. Otherwise, people will be like, "Arey kar diya, arey kaise kar diya, bhai?" You cannot do it like that, right? Be careful. Okay, fine. So client ID, client secret is there. Moving on. Let's try to quickly wind up this part now. New account comes with default. We have this. Copy the client ID and client secret. Perfect. We have some details. We can copy these details. That's what is available here. Okay, super. So there is home. There is app credentials. You can go to the app credentials and then you have these two details. You can view this. You can copy this. These are buttons. Okay. After that, what? Once we get these. Next, get access token. How to get access token? Okay. Exchange your client ID and the secret for access token. The access token authenticates your app when calling PayPal. Okay, fine. Access token is required. We need it for authenticating our APIs. Okay, very good. Next, you can call this in any language. Okay, the following example shows a curl or Postman. There go. Later step is from our Spring Boot Java application, we need to call this endpoint. But currently we are doing testing. We need to do it via Postman. In future, we will do it, yes, via our Java application. We need to code all this. But today we are doing testing how PayPal API works. So what is that approach here, guys? Curl URL is available. We already know how to make a curl call. Create order ke liye we did, right? Simple. Curl URL. Copy is available here. Okay, you copy this curl URL. Okay, go here. Same thing again. Import. Paste the curl. Now, auth API, we are pasting it into curl. Where do you want it? Let's just say we want it in our April 25 CT. What is the name? We will call it as PayPal auth API and then import into collection. Okay. Somehow, whatever they provided came to us. Okay. What is the next thing they are saying? Modify the code. Means whatever this code they have provided, they are saying change the client ID to your client ID and client secret to your client secret. Where is our client ID, client secret? In the dashboard. Dashboard is where you can see all these details about PayPal. We have created a sandbox account, and there we are able to see client ID, client secret. Now what they are saying, whatever your client ID and client secret is, you have to get access token for that. How do we get access token for that? We need to call another API of Postman, pass your client ID and client secret, and in response they will give you access token. So एक और API call. We need to do one more API call, pass our client ID and client secret to them. In response, if they are valid, if our secrets are valid, it's like username, password. If they are valid, we will get the access token. If it is invalid, we will not. Ab how to pass this client ID, client secret? Again, try to just do some clicking and understanding. Okay, how? Here we are. If you don't know, you can go to ChatGPT. It will clearly guide you. No, not a problem. Just see here in authorization section. I just clicked on authorization section. It's pre-filled with basic auth and having client ID and client secret. Why these things are pre-filled? It is pre-filled because somewhere here it was mentioned like this. So what is our steps? Get access token. What is our steps? First, import CURL for making OAuth API call. Super. Import curl for making OAuth API call. Okay. What is the next thing? Replace client ID and client secret. How do you replace? Copy these details from your dashboard, and then add to, where is it? Postman, authorization, basic auth in username, password. So Postman slash authorization slash basic auth you need to choose slash username should be client ID and password should be client secret. Okay, let's apply this first. Okay, fine. We go here. Chalo, let's go one by one. Client ID is required. Okay, copying the client ID. Go back here. Username, we replace this. Okay. Password, we want to put the password also, nothing but secret. We copy. Okay, it's copied, looks like. Replace. Okay, it's coming undefined for the first time. Let's copy it once more. And then, okay, valid value is coming. Okay. So we copied both of them. Anything else required to be done? Documentation, let the documentation guide us. We need to pass client ID, client secret, and that's it. We will get a response. Let's make an API call. Okay, let's make an API call by passing this. Super. We got a response from the PayPal system, which is also on the sandbox account, API-M sandbox.paypal.com. But endpoint is V1 OAuth token. We passed our client secret and client ID, and in response, just see, we got some data. They provided us some access token. Looks like we need to use this access token while making API call. But we got a response. So what was our step? Let's write it down. Create access token, import into curl, replace the client, and step number 3 is make API call. And like their documentation is saying, what they are saying is sample response. You will get something like this. We are getting similar or not? Scope, access token, token type, ID, expires in, and some other number. Okay. Now we go here, and then we can see all that is available. Nothing but the access token that we are getting is valid for how much type, for which application it is coming. And there is some type for access token. When we will take a dedicated session on OAuth implementation. What is OAuth? When we are going to code this in our system, we will detailed wise understand OAuth. Today we are not understanding OAuth. Today we are just using it. Understanding will come when we are about to code OAuth. An entire 1-hour topic on OAuth we will do, and then we will implement it. You will get nice knowledge for interview time. But yes, something called as bearer access token is given to you of type definitely OAuth. Okay, fine. So we made an API call, result aa gaya. What is the next thing? Okay, once we get this, we have to do now the testing. For testing, there is test pass credentials. But for making API call, only access token is required. That means we are ready to make our create order API call. Only access token is required. How do we know this? When we go here, as part of the security section of create order, it is saying, just see, authorization, bearer, and access token is required. OAuth based, that's it. So we have the token that we need for making call. Our first API call also just told us ki invalid token, but now we have a valid token. That means if we use this token while making the API call, maybe we will get a successful response. That's the logical next step to happen. If we did any error in making this token call, maybe still it will fail, but it's worth making an attempt right now. That's how is the logical next right step. So we will go next. Get access token. Okay, fine. Next, rather than making this call, we will update these steps. PayPal has given next step as a use the sandbox credential for testing. But our next step for us will be use this access token which is generated above to make create order API call. The documentation is somehow saying ki some authorization in -h means header is required. Okay, guys, how do you provide it? I'll just give you one way of doing it right now. Just see in the header, some authorization is coming. Okay, and there is a logic of how to do this. Straight away, your access token is not supposed to be passed here. There is a business logic behind it. We will discuss that more when we discuss about OAuth implementation. Right now, let me tell you how to give this access token into the system. Go to authorization. What is the type of our access token, guys? Bearer token. So how do we add access token? Go to authorization. Our OAuth is a bearer token. So we are choosing their bearer, and whatever is your access token, we take this, we go to the create order API, and we pass our token here. So what's the process? We go to first OAuth API. How did we get to this API? Curl URL from documentation. We pass the client ID, client secret from the dashboard. From the dashboard, we got client ID, client secret, made this API call. It was a valid credential, so we got access token. We took this token. We are going to create order API call. In authorization, the token type is bearer token. Postman is giving an option to pass bearer token. Under authorization, bearer token, providing the token value. Whatever we provide, automatically in the header, it will be providing the corresponding whatever value required. So you don't have to touch the header. You just have to touch authorization. Once you do this, you have a body, and then that's it. Let's make a call and see what happens this time. We have access token provided. Boom. It worked. When you try to think logical and you expect it to work, most of the times it will work. If it is not working, that means some more thing you need to still know that you have to figure out. That's how you logically grow your thinking. You think, yeah, chal gaya. Earlier you tried, token invalid. You did an entire research of how to have this token. You finally made the token possible. You passed it in the right thing, and then you got the right response. And then you start relating. Okay, so now their documentation is saying something like this. When you make this create order API call with a valid token, then in response, you are going to get this kind of a message. Now you go back to the Postman and check what are you getting here. ID, status, payment source, links. ID, status, payment source, links. And then this ID is nothing but the payment ID. This link is some redirection related link. Okay. And now we are able to make this call as well. Guys, are we clear with it? Please share your understanding score, everybody. Please give a quick reactions and then share your understanding score, guys. Today you have to do all this thing. Okay? Chalo, polls, ending this one. Today, please do this. It will make you very knowledgeable, guys. Interview mein fir talk like this about your real-time project and just see the difference between lot of job seekers versus you. Okay? Chalo, please share your understanding score. Let's see. Majority of you are getting it. That is super. Okay? Guys, rone se nothing is going to happen. Think logical, connect logical, and then showcase. Practice is the key. Everything goes smooth. Chalo guys, everybody. Save it. Launch it. Chalo guys. And yeah, if any other thoughts are coming, ye wo, write it down. Our mind is filled with thoughts, right? And those thoughts now you explore on internet and just see how wonderful more solutions will come. And that's where you will see the brain is in now working state compared to just waiting, ke job de do. Now you are in an active zone, engaging your brain muscles. And then with the knowledge, I will even give you techniques of job hunting. With dedication, if you do, over and all combined, may result will come. Chalo guys, please mark this poll. Where is it? Where is the poll? Polls. Okay. Chalo guys, 93 members have marked. We will end the call shortly. It's already 3 hours done, maybe more 10 minutes, because rest everything is just making call on top of this itself. Abhi aage or there is nothing more, maybe 5 minutes stopping, attendance, and then closing the session. All the major topic is completed that we wanted. Okay? Just 100 members have voted so far, 5s and 4s majority, 3 are few. Practice is required for everybody, no matter where you are. I require practice, you require. Human beings need practice. Then only we understand. Okay? Okay, chalo, let's do the final touch-up, guys. Let's do the final touch-up, everybody. We made create session call. Okay. We will discuss about OAuth separately. We will discuss about request structure separately. Now we are doing just a test account. And for testing purpose, you need to create your own account. We demonstrated that. Okay. Using this to make API call. How did we do? Get access token from response of step 2. It's a bearer token. Let's write it down. It's a bearer token. Okay, next, when making API call, which is nothing but create order API call, pass the access token in request via Postman. How do you do this? How do you do this? Okay, go to authorization, Postman /authorization /bearer /in token, paste the token. Okay, next, make API call. Make API call. Okay, once we make the API call, we got some response back. Curve, so we have to finish. We made a call, we got a response back. What does the flow says, guys? What does the flow say? The documentation flow is saying, we need to return this order ID. Did we get an order ID? Create order we called. We got some ID. Maybe this ID itself is the order ID. We got some ID. We need to understand what these statuses are. It's a full big topic. We are building a project piece by piece. Everything is an ocean of knowledge itself. We need to understand all of these things. Piece by piece karenge. How can we digest so much food in one day? But when you do it incrementally, you will absorb everything nicely, right? So yes, order ID is there. Right now we are just doing experimentation to understand the system. Maybe this ID will give. And then PayPal is somehow, we give this ID to the JDK, they launch the pop-up and there the customer logs in. Okay. They launch the pop-up and the customer logs in. But guys, they have also provided another option as well. Okay, along with the ID, they are returning back some URL as well, which ideally will be launched in that browser pop-up. And if you really observe, static URL is there, token equal to whatever is the order ID, same thing is the nothing but token. Means it's a statically composable. So that means when PayPal launches the pop-up, it is somehow launching this kind of a URL in that pop-up. We can do some experiments. If this kind of a URL is being launched in pop-up, okay, guys, let's go back here, home, app. If this URL is being launched in pop-up, what I will do is, we will copy this and open a incognito mode and then try to see what happens on this URL. I'm outside India, I'm in Thailand right now, so it localizes to my Thai language, but let me switch to a English translation. Okay. This is the page which customer will see when the pop-up launches. Super. Now, in this page, we can do a payment. Why? Go back to our flow, relate everything together. In our flow diagram, we explained the pop-up launch is going to be something like this. This is the pop-up launch. Okay, when the pop-up is launched, the customer can fill the details and make the payment. Right now, the people having, let's say, PayPal related account can do the payments here. So there is a login capability. In the test environment, how to make this payment possible? How to do this testing in the test environment? For that reason, that step was given by the PayPal team. If you want to do the testing, you need sandbox accounts. Link will come, pop-up will come, but from where to cut the test money? For that, the step number 3 was given by PayPal documentation. You need to go to the dashboard, and in the testing tools, there is sandbox accounts. Can we see that? In the testing tools, sandbox accounts. Some test accounts are already set up for testing purpose. Okay, guys, there is this one thing. If let's say you have a hard cutoff, at 1 you have to drop off. So you can drop the call. Recording will be available. You can watch the remaining 30 minutes from the recording. Okay? We will be justifying whatever is required for the session. The topic will not be cut. Sometimes if it is taking some more time to pick up, yes, you can watch the recording to complete it. But whatever is planned for today, we will be finishing because it is related topic. We cannot just do this final 10 minutes tomorrow because it will break the flow. So fine, we will justify every single day. That is where we are saying 2 months every day is very valuable, and we need to get knowledge of 1 to 2 years of experienced person in 2 months of time. That can happen only when there is no compromise. So if you have urgency, you need to drop, please drop. Attendance link will be shared to you in our WhatsApp group, plus recording link will be there. Continue the remaining topic when you are available during the day. But we have to do what is needs to be done. There is not going to be any exceptions for this. Okay. But I will try to manage in 3 hours itself maximum. Today being the first day, these terminologies, all these things you are seeing for the first time. So we are going step by step. Okay. Once you know this, future mein it becomes easy. Okay, fine. Now moving on. Last part, ek payment kar lete hai. Let's just continue through the journey of making a payment. What they are saying, PayPal, for doing the payment, in testing tools, sandbox account, you can create more accounts also. So here there is an option. You can create your own test user. All that possibility is there. But they are already providing some default accounts as well. And just see, the passwords are going to be available for this guy. So you can just go here. Let's click on personal. Generally, what I know about this system is using personal account, you can make purchase. Business account is for some other purpose, for selling. Business user is for selling purpose. Personal user is for buying purpose. That's how their splitting has happened. Okay? So we need to test with a personal account user. So let's just do this. Get access to exchange token, make an API call. Okay, step number 4, you would get redirect URL and order ID, okay, where customer is expected to make payment. Okay, mil gaya. We launched even that in a separate tab. Okay, very good. Next, step number 5, get sandbox account credentials for testing. How do you get it? Steps are mentioned by this guy. Already this link is shared in our group. You have to read through all of these places and start making sense of it. This is where or the details are mentioned, but basically this portion. How do we use? We need to go to this portion for testing purpose. Login to dashboard, login to dashboard / testing tools / sandbox accounts, then use personal user, use default personal user for testing. You can also create your own user as well. That possibility is also there. How do you do this? Go here, launch, click on this name. It has some username, it has some password. Okay, it has a username, it has a password. We can try this. Copy this email, go back here, and let's try to make a payment. Filling it, paste. Next, password is required for this guy. In the testing account, there is a password possibility also. Click to copy, go here, paste, and then do the login. Somehow, this account is of John, temporary account, John. Okay, some account ID is there, some personal details are there, some cards are added to this guy behind the screen, some test setup is there done by default for this person. We can see some card information is also available here. Next, we tried to make a create order API call. How is this $230 coming? $230 is a lot of money. From where is this coming? So it is coming maybe create order API call that we did. In the create API call, we pass that amount as 230 USD. For that reason, that kind of pricing is going there. Okay, ideally for our testing, generally you have to change these details to $1. For now, we copied pasted what PayPal had, so we are using it, but generally keep the amount low. What if accidentally live card is used and then you are testing with $230? Your manager will come to your home. Kahan hai saale? So be careful. Test with small amounts, $1. Okay, keep it low so that accidental mistakes can be avoided. So, but anyways, for now, for our first call, PayPal has provided 230, and you can see in the create order API call, we gave that. Accordingly, they have created order in their system, generated an order ID, gave it back to us with a URL. We launched that URL and we want to do a customer money payment. And that's what you can see in this flow, right? Customer logs in and now customer is trying to complete the checkout. Complete the checkout is nothing but go back to this flow and then fill whatever card, test card is there. So test money is there. You don't have to see, it's not going to real-time charge because it is again sandbox.paypal.com. That should give you confirmation that everything is test happening. You are safe and secure, no problem. Okay, now we can do the payment here. Fine, let's do complete purchase without anything here. Complete purchase. Okay, just see, it did something and redirected to a URL. Which is this URL? example.com/return URL. Observe, in the API request call that we have made, they have something called as return URL, cancel URL. This is the domain where they redirected. Don't try to connect the dots right now. Just observe what's happening. Tomorrow or in the further sessions, when we further connect this entire system, it will all start making sense. But what is the happening behavior right now? When the payment is successfully completed, The customer is redirected to return URL, which is mentioned in the create order API. So what did we do next? Let's go back here. Get sandbox account credentials for testing. We went there. Use default personal user for testing. We did that. After that, okay, step number 6, make payment on PayPal redirection URL. We did that. And then what was the observation? On successful completion, we were redirected to this field, to below URL, which we used in making create order API call. While making create order API call. Okay, that's super. हो गया, पूरा हो गया, guys. Now we are on the destination page. As per the flow diagram is saying customer completed. Practically, what is going to happen? There is going to be a pop-up of PayPal side. There they will receive in the JavaScript SDK that customer has completed it. Their JavaScript SDK is going to call the merchant page, our front-end page, saying customer has completed his activity. Our front-end page is supposed to make a call to us saying now call capture. And we discussed some time ago in today's session, when we call capture, that is where the money actually debits. Can we test that? Right now, customer has completed his action, but is the money debited, not debited? Can we test it right now? Yes, it is possible to test. So what is our next step? Make the payment. On successful completion, we were redirected here. Okay, so we made the payment. Made the payment on the page. Okay, we made the payment. Okay, next what? We are redirected here. Next what? Okay, we are expected to call capture API. And we have theoretical understanding. When capture is called, then the money should actually debit. That's the theoretical understanding. Can we see it practically? That is where comes the step number 7. When customer completes the payment, check if the payment is deducted or not. When the customer completes the payment, check whether the payment is deducted or not. Ideally, it should not be deducted. It should be deducted only when capture call happens. We discussed this theoretically. Now we are looking at it practically. Capture call happens. Okay, how do we test it? How do we test it? Just see the test account which is created. They have provided a URL where you can log in as this customer and check what transactions are actually done by this person. They provided a system for that also. PayPal, lot of features, lot of capabilities, very big payment provider, given lot of systems, guys. PayPal has provided sandbox.paypal.com. So sandbox.paypal.com. In sandbox.paypal.com, we can log in as a Sandbox customer. Just see, this is our email. It is pre-filled because we made the last attempt via that. Use the password. You can log in as the test customer here. Log in. And there you can see transactions. There you can see these cards. While trying to make the payment, these cards were added or not. So the test account which was set up, you can actually view it closely. The bank accounts, okay, which is available. And just see in the recent activity, money debiting activity is not there. They added some $5,000 for testing purpose. It is test money. But debiting any activity is not there. Can we make a capture API call now? We are just observing. So how did we go here? Okay, we can log into the Sandbox account. When customer completes the payment, check if the money is deducted or not. How did we check? Login as test customer into his account, which is nothing but this URL, and then get the email and password from this place, right? You click on that user and get it from this place, and then we are able to check here that money is not debited for this guy. Okay, money is not debited. Then what exactly is going to happen? They are expecting us as a technology integration company that we need to call capture. When capture happens, that's where the money is going to be debited. Let's make a capture call. Guys, everybody, can we make a capture call? Give a quick thumbs up. Can we make a capture call? Focused. Same way, create order key, same way capture order we'll do. Entire suit will complete together. That's where we are closing it together. Okay? Abhi capture order mein there will be not be any surprise. We can blindly do it, guys. Chalo, thanks for confirmation. Let's do final 5-10 minutes ka capture order and then we are done. Everybody, chalo, let's focus. Capture order required to be done. Okay, how do we do it? Let's think about it. What will be steps? Go to PayPal API documentation for capture order. CURL is going to be there. Curl is going to be there. Copy that. Import into Postman. For making that API call, also access token is going to be required. Copy the access token from the OAuth API, pass it to capture, and make the Postman API call. Done. After that, already we logged in into customer. Just go there and see whether the money has debited or not. Simple. Chalo, let's do that capture. Okay, fine. How will we do? Go back here. Go to the documentation. We are as part of order API. Create order is done. Now we need to do capture payment. Okay, capture order. As part of capture order process, we copy this URL. Okay, copy. Next, we go to Postman. Next, we import. We paste it here. Next, we add it to the right collection. April CT. We name this PayPal capture order. Import. Okay. There is one thing more we need to observe here. Just check it out. Capture documentation says what? In the URL, the ID of the order needs to be specified. So whatever we imported, that URL ID is some other ID. We need to use capture on our payment ID. So somehow we have to tell, right, which payment has to be captured. How will we specify? We will specify it in the URL. That's what this means. /checkout/orders /v2 checkout orders ID and capture. We imported here. Here, this is the dynamic ID. So what information we need? Go to the OAuth API. Whatever access token we got, no need to call again because our old access token is valid for a longer time. Okay, we will get into this token later. Right now, we are experimenting. Copy this access token. Go to the capture order. Go to the authorization. Add it as a bearer token. Same thing. Replace that token value here. Okay, done. Once it is done, next, the URL should be our order ID. Whatever order we created, whatever order we made payment, that order itself we need to capture. Yes or no? We need to capture our order. How do we tell to the PayPal system which order to capture? Array, in the create order, that unique ID was given to you. You copy that ID, go to the capture order API, and then load this here as an ID. Theoretically, we have done whatever is required. We imported the URL, we replaced bearer token, and now we replace the ID. We are about to call, guys. Shoot. 201 created. It is a success. Green success. Will more code. Payment state now has completed. Earlier, when we called create order, payment status was something, payment action required. Now, status is coming as completed. Maybe the payment happened successfully. Maybe. Unless we test it, we cannot be sure. How do we test it? We figured out a way to test it. What? Go in here and let's just refresh this page to see, did anything happen? The customer page. Just see, the money is debited. As the recent activity, we are seeing a minus $230. This same minus $230 is what we did create order, and we passed that amount as $230 here. Now we can verify 100% only when we have called capture API. That's where the money deduction happened, not when the customer actually completed and was redirected. Guys, it's a practical proof of whatever we were discussing. Did you get it, guys? Give a quick thumbs up. एक और बार we will write down conclusions. Okay, good. Focus. Capture call when we did, then it is visible. Create call pe nahi gaya. Today you do this thing, and don't worry, this thing what we demonstrated today, we need to code this system only. For coding this system, we have to touch these topics again, understand APIs, understand request, understand response. Right now, dummy data ke saath we did everything, but we saw how the model works. Good stuff, guys. Okay, let's draw the conclusion, take the attendance, and end the call. Thanks for all the confirmations. Welcome to the week number 2, day number 1. PayPal ko ye sultan kar de chadai. Good stuff, guys. Let's conclude it. Let's conclude. When customer completes the payment, check if the payment is deducted or not. Okay. How did we verify? Login, verify. Okay. After that, we noticed, okay, payment was not debited from the customer account, not visible as recent activity. Okay, fine. Step number 8 comes. Make capture API call. What was the capture API call? Okay, go to the import CURL of capture into Postman. Next, change access token. Next, change access token. Next, use the order ID in the URL. This is that URL. We did not understand request response structures. Okay, we did not understand statuses. We just understood, okay, things are working. How to work with the documentation. That part we understood today. We need to learn about entire status management. This is the order ID. Use the order ID in the URL, and after that, invoke capture. Once capture is invoked, step number 9 is verify whether amount is debited from customer. How did we do it? Sandbox based. Just log in there and we will be able to see it in recent transaction. That's one way of making the attempt here. Okay, chalo guys, let's take the attendance. I will share the recording and everything when the session completes today. Good stuff, guys. Let's mark the attendance, everyone. Okay, same attendance link applies whatever was there in week number 1. Location of the material is changed, but attendance tracking, task tracking links are going to remain the same. Anyways, whatever the links are, I will communicate in the WhatsApp group to you. Okay, so here we go. Personal career transformation, 7th of April, attendance link for today. Let me copy this, copy responder link. Okay, copy responder link. We are here. Attendance code for today is 9595, and here is the link. 9595, here is the attendance link. Guys, please mark the attendance. Even if you mark the attendance during the day today, it will be counted, right? So, and if you mark 10 today, it will be considered only 1. So please make sure. In case you miss attendance due to in the live session, then you can complete it during the day from WhatsApp group. And we tried one experiment, guys. we have enabled this Google Transcript here and Gemini AI for summarizing whatever we have discussed as part of this call. So let's see, I will see what kind of output comes out of this. 3 hours, everything is being transcribed and AI is going to summarize these notes. So once that documents are available, I will see how nice it is, and we will even be sharing that with you. So some theoretical explanation will also come about the main things that we discussed today. Okay? So I think you will have a lot of material and information there. Chalo guys, once you're done, please give a quick thumbs up and then we will end the call. I will share you the recordings and material in the WhatsApp group. Okay? If any of your friends are still wanting to join, okay, so you can drop me a message. I will give you link, because main link is now closed since we are already in week number 2. For 2-3 days, if last moment some entries are there, we can adjust. After 4 days, it will be hard to catch up. After 4 days, nothing is possible basically, right? So till Wednesday, if any of your friends want to join, that option we can open. Okay? Chalo, if you are done, give a quick thumbs up, guys, if your attendance is marked. Okay. Chalo, thank you guys, everybody, for joining. It's going to be a great 2 months ahead. Tomorrow, domain and architecture. Thank you all. Take care of yourself. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, guys. Stopping the recording. Okay, done. Stopping the YouTube private stream. Done. Stopping the transcriptions. Also, note taking.